It's Friday, then it's Saturday, Sunday.
This is on you!
Tell us what we want to hear.
We need your help. We're going to give it to him.
Just Anthony. He's going to get it all.
Let's get nasty on a Friday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Super Bowl champion Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. 203, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. No Jamie Rivers today. Jamie is traveling as the Blues continue their play over the weekend. They'll take on the Canadians on Saturday, tomorrow, to get the pregame starting at 5 o'clock. Right here on 101 ESPN. Big win last night for the Blues.
Yep.
I don't know about you guys. I was rather shocked the way that they played and they performed. No Robert Thomas. They're facing their former coach, obviously, in Craig Berube, and you know the Chief had Toronto fired up to win that one, and all of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, Blues are up 2, and they played one of their best games of the season, quite frankly. I think this and Carolina were the two games where you look at it and like, man, this was a complete effort all the way through.
You're starting to see them come together. I think there were a lot of questions. You know, Jordan Kyrou's play was questioned. Just a lot of things that I think are starting to fall into place for this team. Dylan Holloway getting 2 goals. Like, you're starting to see a team that seems to be meshing and gelling pretty well. And when you go into the start of the season where you didn't have much time of those guys playing together, I think they're starting to figure out who is who, what is what do you do well, where do you like to be, where are you going to be, and I think they're all coming together that way. I think there are some things that they could clean up. Obviously, no matter what game you play, you always have some things that you can get better at. But all in all, I mean, you win 5-1 on the road, you know, versus a team that's supposed to be really good, and your former coach. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you tip of the cap.
Jordan Binnington was incredible last night. Absolutely incredible. 40-something saves, or maybe it was just exactly 40.
How about the save that he made? It was like a knuckle puck. It, like, bounced, and then out of midair, he just, like, threw his blocker up or his glove. I think it was his glove. Yeah, he threw his glove up, but it hit off the side of his glove, and he just, see you later. Yeah. Get out of here.
He was so locked in last night. And I don't know, Marsh, I don't know if you've ever played goalie before. I know that you're a defenseman by nature, but I don't know if you've ever played goalie.
Yeah, I have knee hockey.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, though.
I would assume.
Is that when you play on your knees?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I listen, that was a shot in the dark.
Carey. You have no idea.
What
like,
you thinking, man?
Growing up when you're not playing hockey.
Clue.
When you're not playing hockey, you're playing knee hockey. You know, whether it's you can call it hall hockey in the hotel.
Okay.
Some people call it shinny hockey. Like whatever you want to call it, knee hockey. Oh, I used to have all these tournaments and stuff back in the day. Bring everybody over, had a trophy, did all this stuff. Oh, it was awesome. I had a knee hockey rink in my basement.
You did?
Yeah, we built one.
Wow.
For these tournaments, it was great.
So
that was the only time I've ever played goalie is in knee hockey.
Well, I would assume whether you're playing knee hockey or if you're Jordan Binnington playing at the highest level, I almost think that you want to see a fair amount of shots.
Oh, for sure.
Like the nights that you're only seeing 17 to 20, you don't get into a rhythm. I mean, not that you want to face 40 a night, but you see a fair amount. You're seeing the puck well. You know how teams are attacking you. You know whether or not they're trying to go glove side or they're trying to, go to the stick. I think that a guy like Jordan Binnington does very well when he faces a fair amount of shots.
Yeah, and from the perimeter, too. Like, if you saw the shot chart yesterday, a lot of those shots were just from the outside. He'll take those every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoot him. Yeah, shoot him from far out. Whatever. I got him.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, it is Freedom Friday here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. This is where you have an opportunity to choose whatever topic you want. Send it into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. You can also send any sort of topic via the Air Alliance Team YouTube channel at 101 ESPN STL. That's our Snake Pit. Shout out to the Snake Pit today. Again, no Jamie Rivers today. He'll be back with us at some point next week. Marsh, what do we got?
All right, from the 314, let's stick with the Blues here. Do you think without Robert Thomas, the Blues will lean more into the hard-nosed, team-first, gritty performance from night to night, and can they sustain that?
I think most nights you can. I think they will. Let me answer that first question. I think when you lose a top player like that, it almost forces you to play it a different way, and it almost forces you to rely more on your fundamentals. Like, we don't have one of our top guys. We can't do something necessarily special when he's on the ice. So we're just going to play this straight up. Maybe you take less risk, and I think there is some sustainability with that.
Yeah.
I do think you're going to feel the impact of not having Robert Thomas in certain games. You're just like, you know what? We're completely outmanned. I thought last night was going to be one of those, if I'm being honest. But the way they played, that's the way Drew Bannister wants them to play anyways, whether they have Robert Thomas or not. So I think they have that next man mentality up right now, or next man up mentality, I should say. And I think they can probably get away with that for a little while. At some point, though, you're going to feel the effects of not having Robert Thomas.
Well, anytime you are without one of your best players, it will be felt. It will be a different game. It will be a different type of style and different mindset. Is it sustainable? I don't think any team can win a bunch of games without their best player or without one of their best players for an extended period of time. So, for now, last night looked really good. Hopefully, you can continue this, and when Robert Thomas is back healthy, they can kind of bring him right back into it, and they can continue to build on what they're doing right now.
Yep. All right, Marsh. Actually, you know what? I got this. So, all right, let's talk about this. So this morning, we got an email, and it was one of those emails that you never really want to see. Unfortunately, in the radio business, right around the end of October and November, that is typically when changes are made. We're not privy to those changes most of the time, and unless we're being affected as hosts or producers, so we're just we get the news like everybody else. If you haven't heard the morning drive, the opening drive, the morning show, Randy Carricker, Brooke Grimsley, Dan McLaughlin, and Matt Rocchio are being replaced. So those four are no longer on air here at 101 ESPN. And for me, Carey, I know you worked on that show too, so it's not, this hasn't been an easy couple of hours for you either. But, for me, just thinking about walking into the office of the Fast Lane when I was interviewing to be their producer 13-something odd years ago, and seeing Randy Carricker and DeMarco Farr and Chris Duncan there, and knowing that none of the three now are with the station. Obviously, Dunk has since passed on, and DeMarco is, he moved, and now with Randy. It's sad. It's incredibly sad. This isn't a great day, and it's unfortunate reality in radio. Carey, I know you've gone through this in the NFL. Mm-hmm. It's done in a similar manner.
Yeah.
When changes are made and people are let go, it is quick.
Yeah.
And you don't get to say goodbye. You do your own goodbyes, but you don't get to say goodbye. And a lot of the times you're not allowed to go out on your own terms. It just that's how it is. And we all know that as hosts. It doesn't make it easy. I feel awful for the four of them. Randy, I've known, again, since I produced this exact show. Randy is a total professional, an icon in St. Louis, an icon in St. Louis radio, icon in media. I feel awful for him. Dan and I have become very close since he started working full-time at 101. Brooke, I've gotten to know. She's a sweetheart, and Matt Rocchio, I've known for a while, inside and outside of 101. I feel for all of them.
Yeah.
It's not a good day. It is a business. I'm not privy to these conversations. Carey and Marsh aren't privy to these conversations. We're not a part of them. It sucks to lose teammates, especially ones that have the resumes of the four that were let go this morning.
Yeah. For me, like you said, I was on the show with those guys. I love all of them. Those are my guys, man. Randy is part of the reason why I was brought into this. I started doing radio when I retired, and Randy and I were doing high school football games on I think it was Spectrum at the time or one of the TV channels, Channel 11. And that was my first introduction into sports media, especially here in St. Louis. So I've known Randy since 2000. Well, before that, when I was playing, but really got to know him when I started doing the radio with him, calling those football games. And when the spot opened for the opening drive, when Michelle went to Connecticut and got her gig, Randy called me and he was like, "Hey, I would love to have you a part of this." And so it ended up working in that way. And so he's always been like a great friend, a great mentor, father figure for me. And I did actually just talk to him about 5 minutes ago before we got on. I told him I love him, I appreciate him. He's in good spirits. And Brooke became like a little sister to me. Like she is awesome. I tell people all the time, well, what is Brooke like? Brooke is a shark. Like she will bite your head off in the most polite Southern way. She is kind, but she is extremely competitive and she works her butt off. And there is nobody that I had worked with that just took meticulous notes in the manner in which she does. And just understands everything that's going on and is very well prepared. And I got to talk to her this morning as well. And, you know, it's a tough time, man, because nobody sees it coming. Nobody expects it. And, you know, I know that they are heartbroken and disappointed, but at the same time, I know that they all did a good job. Same thing with Rock. I got to talk to him also, and Rock is my guy. He's like my little brother as well. It's just, you know, I laughed with him. I'm like, man, I'm going to miss hearing your crazy basketball takes because we would go back and forth. We would sit in the morning after our show and talk for like an hour about different things and just different mindsets. And so, you know, it's just I'm thankful to be able to have spent that time with them and gotten to know them in that way. All great people. I did not work with Dan. He came on after I got on with you all. I've met him, known him. I know him. He's a great guy as well. But for those three specifically, that's my family. I love those guys, and I'm heartbroken for them because they work their butts off. But I do know that because they do such good work and have always and will continue to do such good work, they will land on their feet and they will be, you know, fine.
Yeah, I mean, I got to have the opportunity to work with Randy, like, when I started. Like, I didn't go straight into this job. Like, Randy showed me the ropes of what it is like to be a pro, you know, in radio. And, you know, we worked with Dan all the time, always had a great time with Dan. And, you know, talking with Rock and Brooke, it's just like, I really don't, like, know what to say. Like, it's sad. And, you know, I'm heartbroken for them. I'm really gonna miss them.
We all will. You know, I mean, it's one of those things. It's you become, you know, it's a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and you fight for each other, and you know, you're all doing different shows at times, and you're competitive within those shows, but you're still on under the blanket of 101 ESPN, and nobody embodied 101 ESPN like Randy Carricker. You know, he was there from the inception. So. Like I said, nobody here is celebrating. Nobody, you know, there's not much to be excited about. It's one of those it's one of the things about the business that absolutely sucks. It does. Yeah. I've seen unfortunately it happens every single year, and it's always a sad moment in radio. It is. With the current climate the way it is, this industry right now is tough. It's tough, but that's beside the point. Yeah. So we're thinking of Randy and Brooke and Matt and Danny Mac today. So we know we got a lot of text messages about it. I don't know how much more we'll dive into it. If people keep asking and they think, you know, we're avoiding it, we'll point to the podcast. So outside of that, though, with respect to what those guys are going through, we'll kind of move forward here with Freedom Friday. So we appreciate you're along for the ride. I know you're upset. I do. I've been through this before too. I know. When Dunk and I took over for Bernie, there's a lot of people that became angry. Even when I came here to the fast lane, while many of you were very supportive, you know, some of you were upset because Randy became a fabric of your afternoon. I totally get that. So if you're upset, I understand. I do. I totally understand. So, all right, we're going to move forward here. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. Freedom Friday continues next in the Fast Lane. It's a Freedom Friday here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. No Jamie Rivers today. If you want to leave us a topic, anything you want us to discuss, we did discuss the morning show. So we'll move forward. Some of
be sports related or
non-sports related. Yeah.
Want to know what's the best tires to put on your brand new sports car? Anthony can tell you. He's the car guy.
You think we'll get
Michelin's?
Think we'll get more deck questions?
Yeah, probably some deck questions. Absolutely.
Yep. Need you.
Get your deck on.
Get your deck on.
All right, Marsh, what do we got?
All right, this one comes from the 952. Did the refs cost that game for the Vikings, or was it their performance? Also, are the Vikings in trouble after starting 5-0?
Look, it was an absolute. Well, okay, so there's three different questions
specific
here.
Ref incident are we referring to?
At the end of the game when Sam Darnold's head got pulled
he
off?
did get face mask. I mean,
that was a face mask.
They were down 10.
And they were down
8. And then they got the safety.
Right. So let's just look at the penalty. The penalty, it should have been a penalty. It wasn't a penalty.
Yeah.
That should have been a penalty. They should have backed up. They should have gotten 15 yards, or it's 15 for a face mask, right?
Yeah.
So they should have got the 15 yards, moved up. I didn't think at that point throughout the fourth quarter that Sam Darnold looked comfortable.
No.
In that game, he had played well.
He played okay.
He played well, I thought, in the first half. Marsh, you said something, though, and this goes to the last question about whether or not the Vikings are in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah.
You said something a couple of weeks ago when they were in London that I've paid attention more to over the last 3 games. And you are 100%
defense?
right. It is the second half performance out of this team.
Not good. It started in Green Bay.
They had the interception in the second half to start. The Rams took the ball first. The Vikings got an interception, but the Rams had been driving. So that pick came almost deep into Vikings territory. Other than that, I did not think that Minnesota played well in the second half again. And like you said, it starts in Green Bay when Green Bay came roaring all the way back and nearly, had a Colts-Vikings-esque comeback.
More like a Patriots.
Don't you dare. I said Colts and Vikings.
That was a good one.
Look, Anthony, the score was 28-0 at the time. It would have been worse.
Marsh, you didn't have to do this. I used a perfectly good example. We're talking Vikings football. I went back to the Vikings-Colts comeback from a year ago, or 2 years ago.
I don't even remember that game.
I remember that. It was the same.
Come on, it was a Saturday afternoon.
It was. It was the 12 bars of Christmas.
Yes.
Not ringing the bell.
12 bars.
That 28-3 is right here.
Both of you, go fast lane yourself. Anyways, Marsh, great point. It does feel as though that in the second half, opponents now have a beat on what Minnesota's doing. They figure it out in the first half on both sides of the ball. They see how Flores is playing them. They see what Kevin O'Connell's trying to do to them offensively, and they make adjustments. I thought the Rams, and I was wrong. I thought the Vikings were going to win that one. I thought Aaron Jones was going to have a big day. He didn't. I thought the Rams thoroughly hung with them in the first half, but outplayed them in the second half.
So you mentioned Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones was having a good game, and then they kept having...
They went pass heavy.
They did, because they had the pre-snap penalties that kept backing them up.
Yeah.
And when you have that, then you have to throw on first down when it's 1st and 20.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to, but you probably will, especially with a guy who is more prone to throw the ball in Kevin O'Connell. They didn't deserve to win the game.
No.
Even though the refs gave, the Rams free first downs it seemed like it was like 3rd and 50. First down, automatic first down. And some of them were penalties. I think there's a few that probably weren't. But at the end of the day, did the ref cost you the game? No. You didn't play good enough. And the
refs cost you 15 yards.
They did.
That's it.
With no timeouts left.
They cost you 15 yards and an opportunity to pull off a miraculous drive.
Bottom line, the defense wasn't good enough. The offense wasn't good enough. And to be honest, that Rams team is a lot better now because they're healthy than their record shows. And Cooper Kupp is definitely not getting traded anymore. No way.
Yeah, I don't know how
There's
you
no
could.
way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Given the injury history of not only Cup but Puka Nacua, I don't know how you'd want to get rid of both of those guys. They mean so much to that offense.
And they look good.
And local product, Kyron Williams.
He looked good too.
Outstanding. And he's now scored a touchdown every game this year.
He's very evasive.
Every single one.
He was that Rams offense, and we were talking about it in the office. When you have Puka and Cooper back in the game plan like they were yesterday, they had 17 catches between the two of them. Like they are going to throw the ball to him. And this is the thing that I thought was interesting. And I was telling Anthony this. You knew when Puka and Cooper were in the game that it was more than likely going to be a pass.
Oh, yeah.
Like they were not bringing them in. They were letting the other receivers be in the game for the run game aspect of it. So if you're a defense, you should start to kind of key in on that and understand run versus pass, what to expect on that down and distance based on who's in the game. Because they were going to throw the ball to Cooper, they were going to throw the ball to Puka, and they were going to have success. Matthew Stafford played extremely well yesterday. He had one bad throw, that one, and I don't know if it was some confusion. I think he was throwing it to Cooper or Puka, and he threw a corner route over his head. But that was a bad throw. But all in all, he had a really good game.
Yeah.
Like they looked very well balanced offensively in the run and the pass game. They looked like they can do both at an extremely high level. That defense is pretty young. Verse, I do like him. The rookie out of Florida State, the defensive end, the rush end. I like him a lot. They got some pieces on that defensive side. And I was also telling Anthony this, you weren't in there. It felt like when the Vikings went down and scored and the Rams scored right after that, then the Vikings went back down and scored and then the Rams scored again. It's almost like the Vikings were like, oh, we didn't put him out with 2 punches. It's like a knockout puncher. Like if you can't knock the guy out in the first couple of rounds and you got to go 12, those guys tend to lose the fight. So that's what I felt like about the Minnesota Vikings. They've been punching people in the face early and been knocking them out. But when a team punches back, are they able to sustain it? Yesterday, they were not. They got punched back in the mouth, and then you slowly but surely started to see the Rams take over that game.
Yeah, they never capitalized on some of their stops when they did get them. I'm wondering if Brian Flores' defense is starting to get exposed. Like, the same thing happened last year. Like, it started off pretty good, like defensively. And then, like, as the season progressed, it's just like, what is going on here? Like, what is so different here? Like, Stephon Gilmore, like, he looked good, and then now I think his age is showing a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up. When I was watching the game last night, I almost thought to myself, I'm like, this is why Minnesota defensively always felt a little smoke and mirror-ish. Because they don't have...
I love their defense.
I love the schemes that they have.
You love Brian Flores.
I know, I do.
You want him hired at the next opening.
Absolutely.
Next coach's opening.
I think he's a really good coach. I don't think he likes quarterbacks, but I think he's a really good coach.
You can't be a head coach and not like quarterbacks. I'm just telling you. It ain't going to work.
It's very difficult, as we found out. But no, I think when you look at the roster that Minnesota has defensively, I think he was doing a lot with less. And you wonder, to your point, Marsh, you wonder if maybe teams are starting to catch up to that a little bit, and now he's got to do something else.
And I think Sam Darnold is starting to come down to earth a little bit.
He was holding on to the ball.
Sam.
He holds.
I tried to tell you.
I've been watching these games every week. He holds on to the ball a little too long. It's a little annoying.
You all wanted to put him in the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Nah, Anthony did. Anthony was like, he's great. He's spectacular. And I said, just wait.
Yeah.
It's going to come a point where you're going to pull that mask off.
Old man Jenkins. Not old man Sam anymore.
I think the truth lies somewhere in between you and I.
We disagree on a lot of football.
We do.
I don't know why.
We do. The worst part about
we absolutely do.
That loss is that it was the Rams. I can't stand the damn Rams.
I know.
Can't stand, but thank goodness the Blues won.
They
like
look good.
that was like it was a bittersweet night for me.
Right.
But thank goodness the Blues won first, and then I was like, okay, I can settle in a little bit here. Blues won. That's ultimately what nothing against the Vikings. If we're putting 1-2, Vikings come second. I'm a St. Louis guy.
Yeah.
Blues guy. That was a big win for the Blues last night.
Right.
Have you ever worn a Blues helmet to a bar?
I've not worn a Blues helmet to I have a
Minnesota
hockey helmet.
First.
I have a hockey helmet.
We got to get him a Blues helmet.
But I don't have a Blues decal, you know?
Okay.
Well, I guess they don't wear those anymore anyways.
Let me get you
we know a guy that could help you out.
Maybe, yeah.
All right, it's Fastlane. Jamie Rivers.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's on sometimes from 2 to 6 on the Fastlane on 101 ESPN. All right, Freedom Friday continues. Keep sending in those topics. We'll hit them next on 101 ESPN.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Your St. Louis Blues picked up a big victory in Toronto last night, a 5-1 win over the Maple Leafs. They'll take on the Montreal Canadiens That is tomorrow, and you can listen to that right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 5. Puck drop is at 6. Also, tonight you can listen to Game 1 of the World Series. It's the Dodgers and the Yankees. Pregame starts at 6 o'clock. We have Freedom Friday, so continue sending in your topics for today, and we'll get to those throughout the remainder of the show. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's a Freedom Friday here on 101 ESPN, which means that you have an opportunity to pick out the topic. So if you've been screaming at us for, the last couple of weeks, why aren't you talking about this or that or this or that? Well, that's what today's show is about. It's all about you, the listener. So feel free to chime in, leave us a topic, a question. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Marsh, continue.
Yes, from the 314, how do you guys see the World Series going? And also, who needs this World Series more? Is it Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge?
Before you asked me the two players, I was thinking Dodgers. I think the Dodgers need the World Series more because it's an embarrassment to have the top team, the best team on paper every single year, not win a damn thing. I know that they won in the COVID year, but that was half a season, and I don't count it.
Yep.
So they've done nothing in terms of winning World Series. Divisions are great. We've seen the Milwaukee Brewers win a handful of them. Hell, we've seen the Cardinals win a division. Dodgers winning a division means it should be nothing for them. They have different standards. It should be win a World Series and not a COVID-related World Series. And they haven't done it yet. So I think the Dodgers are the team that you look at this series and you're like, you need it more. Because I think if they lose, it's an absolute embarrassment. Having said that, give me the Yankees. I don't trust the Dodgers pitching. And I've said it since day one of the postseason.
You just don't like the Dodgers.
I don't.
Which player needs it more, in your opinion? Shohei or Judge? Or is it...
I don't think it matters.
Really?
Because it's not like... the Astros needed it more last year because Dusty Baker hadn't won yet. Like, that was it. That was going to be his
2 years ago.
Swan song.
Yeah.
Or 2 years ago, excuse me. Thank you. 2 years ago, Dusty Baker. No, so wasn't it last year?
No, the Texas won last year.
Rangers won last year. Excuse me. Thank you. Boy, I just overlooked that old Diamondbacks Rangers World Series. Yeah.
It's forgettable.
You know what? That doesn't count either. Throw that away. Dusty Baker went in 2 years ago. There's no Dusty Baker. Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani might be in the damn World Series again next year. So I don't know if I can say that one needs it more right now for his career. Do you have a different take on that?
I think it's Aaron Judge, and I think it's because of the market that he's in. Not that L.A. is a softer market, right? They're the top two markets in the country, but New York is a tough place to play, and there are expectations, and you are. The Yankees haven't won it since 2009. Like they haven't won a championship. This is the franchise, the organization with the most championships. They expect to win it every year. They got too many numbers out there. Retired numbers for like you're playing in a place where there's a legacy and understanding and an expectation. And in a market where they don't hold any punches, they give it to you straight. I think it's Aaron Judge. And he's a couple of years older than Shohei. Not that they're not that far off, 30 and 32. Like they're not 7 years, 9 years for Judge, 7 for Shohei. Like it's not that far off in age. And I do agree that they both will probably, see another World Series before their career ends, playing in it and potentially winning it. But I just think it's Aaron Judge. I think Shohei is not as much because of, L.A. and maybe a bit of the language barrier. Not that he can't speak the language, but that's not his first language. So, I just think that Aaron Judge being in New York, the expectations, the high expectations of that city and that organization, I think Aaron Judge has more pressure on him.
What about the team?
The team, I think it's the Dodgers. Well, nah, I think it's the same. I think it's the Yankees.
You think it's the Yankees?
Yeah. For the same reasons.
The Dodgers just won a World Series.
And Anthony doesn't count it.
Well,
he
it
doesn't
shouldn't
count
be
the
counted.
Rangers World Series last year because
That's just because I forgot it.
Okay. He doesn't count the Dodgers winning the World Series. He doesn't count the Lakers. So LeBron only has 3 rings, winning the championship in the COVID year.
I
Who
gave
else?
the Bucks their title.
The
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I gave them that one.
Well, they played an entire season.
I know.
People there.
Yeah.
But you don't count the teams that didn't have a full season.
Look, I'll give you the Lakers and I'll give you the Lightning, okay? I'm not going to give you the Dodgers for playing half a year. No.
The Lakers didn't play an entire year?
They played a lot of games, though.
Did they?
Yeah.
They
didn't shut it down until what, February, March?
Yeah, about 30 games
I
left.
believe is March 11th.
March 12th or something like that.
March 12th, yeah.
So they played a lot of
We'll
games.
look and see what their record was.
But Dodgers played a half a year. The Dodgers have gone through nobody over the years.
So I think that
come on,
that plays into it, right? Like, which team do we believe has a better chance of getting back to the World Series? I think the American League is maybe a little bit more difficult moving forward than the National League. Like, let's just take the NL Central out because they're a non-factor. So now you only have two. Now you only have 2 divisions essentially that are actually competing in the National League.
Correct.
And
you said that very well.
And realistically, we have about, I would say, 4 teams in the National League that are actual contenders right now. That would be, I'd say, the Phillies, the Mets, the Dodgers, and the Padres.
What about the Braves?
The Braves.
Oh, I forgot about them.
I would swap the Braves
too.
with the Mets.
Braves too. Yeah.
I'd
I'd swap Braves with. I'd put the Braves over the Mets. I forgot about them.
Go. Yeah. Well, they didn't make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, they did.
I mean,
that's how
they
non-existent
didn't win the
they
division
were.
this year, is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
They got crushed by San Diego.
Well, and they had a bunch of injuries, and
yeah, they'll be fine. I don't know,
but
like Carey said, I hate the Dodgers. So
you do. It's the NBA played 71 games, so
that's a lot. I'll give the Lakers.
Yeah. Okay.
Congratulations, LeBron.
I mean,
you got another one?
Do you think that the American League is tougher than the National League?
I do.
Okay.
I think it's. I even think like look at the Yankees playing in the same division as the Orioles, as the Blue Jays, who had a really rough year this year, but they have an ownership group that wants to spend. Boston was better than what a lot of people expected this year. Tampa had an off year, but Tampa has done more with has done more with less than any other organization in baseball. So yeah, I think the American League is more stacked. Texas had a weird year, but Carey tells me they won the World Series last year.
They did.
Houston, obviously.
Houston stuff every year. Seattle, if they ever figure out their offense, it's gonna be real tough without their hitting coach now.
Well, their offensive coordinator.
Their offensive coordinator's now with the Cardinals. So.
And then you have the Guardians, and
yeah, they're there.
You got the White Sox.
The White Sox are on the rise.
The Royals are on the rise for sure.
The Royals are definitely on the rise. And you never know with the Tigers. Maybe they get a little bit better. They have one of the best pitchers in baseball. So, I've never heard of like half of their team, but sounds like
you've heard of Zach McKinstry now.
Well, yeah, it's Kool-Aid's brother.
Yeah,
no,
it is brother. Fire up chips, right?
Zach McKinstry's fire up chips.
Yeah, Kool-Aid's brother.
Kool-Aid McKinstry was what, Alabama? Yeah.
They're
not
brothers.
Central Michigan.
Not all relatives go to the same university.
I don't know if you know that.
Guys, I'm going to tell you this right now.
Same sport.
They're not relatives.
What makes you say that?
What? Give me one thing.
Their background, their skin color.
Hey.
Most of their skin color.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. What's trending is next.
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN alongside Anthony Stalter and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Anthony,
Marshy.
the NBA is back, and that means Inside the NBA is back.
What?
Yes, Charles Barkley did a segment yesterday, which I found to be hilarious. It was called Who He Play For, and it had all these different players. And Chuck, friend of the show, of course, had to name which team said random NBA guy played on. I don't know if he got one correct.
Oh, who he play for?
Who he played for.
Yeah, he's
And
terrible at it.
apparently they did. They've showed the same guy. I forgot which guy it was. They showed the same guy for like multiple years now.
Gary Templeton.
Yeah, Gary Templeton.
Gary Templeton. Gary Templeton? I can't one of them. Yeah. He hasn't got it right yet.
I don't think he's literally changed teams, and Chuck still got it wrong.
Gary Temple.
Gary Temple. That's what I
Gary
say.
Temple,
Templeton. The baseball player?
Yeah, no. Yeah, he's so I was watching that.
Did you watch that?
I watched it. He's like since 2003. I think they said he's 8 for like 67. Like he knows no one or who they play for. It is hilarious. He actually said, which I thought was hilarious. He said, "Oh, he plays for the New Jersey Nets," and nobody stopped him because the Nets aren't in New Jersey anymore.
Right. No, Chuck, they play in Brooklyn now.
I'm like, wait, did they move back?
That's hilarious.
Oh, Gary Kittles, New Jersey Nets.
This just kind of reminded me of us. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
No clue.
I mean, there was like Doug McDermott was like one of those guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, who's following Doug
hold on,
McDermott unless you're a
funny
Creighton
part,
fan?
They had just played in that game. He played that game that night.
But he didn't play though. That's what it
he
was.
played 5 minutes.
He did. Okay. Well, that's what Chuck was saying. He's like, he didn't play.
He's like, no, he did
wasn't
just
out on the
play.
floor.
He's like, he did play.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that is us because
does,
there are some hockey names when it comes up. I just look at Marsh like, hey, what's this?
I did it the other day in the Gauntlet.
I have no clue how to pronounce it. I don't
Marsh,
know.
go ahead, give him those options.
How to say it? There's too many vowels. Don't know where he plays. I never heard of it. Can't say that.
We got a text when I was talking about which titles should be vacated from 2020, and somebody texted in saying, "That's rich. Go ahead, tell the professional athlete which titles should count." Buddy, went right over your head. And when I mean by right over your head, I mean the whole show. It's gone right over your head.
This is what we
You
do.
have landed on the wrong station, my man. In other words, it's a total joke. But
I feel like
we appreciate you listening.
half the
I
stuff
wasn't
we
joking.
say is a joke.
I wasn't joking about the Dodgers.
I wasn't joking about the Lakers.
All right, well,
I wasn't joking about the NL Central.
There you go. The hell with it.
Guys, Mizzou takes on Alabama this weekend. We get a question from the 314. If Brady Cook can play tomorrow, how realistic is Mizzou's chance at an upset on Bama's homecoming?
oh man,
How realistic is it that Mizzou upsets them?
I don't think it's realistic at all.
You don't want me to say what I want to say.
No, go ahead and say it.
I don't think it matters if it's homecoming, homegoing,
Home cooking?
home cooking.
I like home cooking meals.
I don't. Bama has lost 2 games for the first time since before Saban was there, before November.
Yeah.
Like, they are probably not going to lose against Mizzou. If they do, then they have just completely like imploded and I don't want to say given up, but it's a rough time down there in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
But yeah. Good luck to those guys.
All I keep seeing is Ryan Williams, their incredible freshman, somehow getting behind this defense again. You know, I don't mean again for him because he's never played Mizzou, but I mean again as in another wide receiver finds his way wide open behind a Mizzou secondary that continues to bite on underneath routes.
What do you think the odds are for an anytime touchdown for that gentleman?
Ryan Williams?
The 17-year-old, as I am always reminded.
Minus 250.
Minus 250?
Yeah.
I was going to say plus 250.
Dude, he's plus 250?
Yeah. Hey, look it up.
Hey, this is a perfect time to read this. From the 314, Mizzou beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
They
you know who
did.
their quarterback was that year?
Who?
Oh, Kyle McCord.
No, Kyle wasn't there.
He
Oh,
didn't
he
play.
wasn't. You're
No,
right.
he didn't
Where is
play.
he at now?
Syracuse.
Did you see his stat
I
line
did.
last night?
He had a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, for the other team.
He threw 4 picks.
5. 3 of them, I think, were pick sixes.
Three of them were 3 pick six
Last
in
I
one
saw
half.
it was 4. Did he end up with
5?
5?
Well, yeah, 5 total. Either 4 or 5 total, but 3 of them went back to the house. 3 pick sixes in one half for Pitt.
That's not that. I mean, that's bad ball.
Not great. So
41
imagine
to-
if he played against Mizzou. Mizzou would have won even bigger.
Oh, he threw 5 interceptions. Jeez.
Yeah.
That is not good.
No.
Nah, that's bad.
No, that's a rough night for the Orange.
I mean, I don't care, but
No, you care.
I mean, not really.
I'm trying to look up
I have
the.
no ties to Syracuse.
I'm trying to look at
Mizzou beat
Ryan
Ohio
Williams.
State. Yeah, I don't think it works that way.
I don't see his touchdown odds.
No?
Nope.
Maybe they don't have any.
I guess not.
The 636 says, I'm a Missouri and Ohio State fan, and I wish that Cotton Bowl never happened.
Why? You beat the Ohio State.
Because what happened was people their brains went a little haywire.
Expectations started to go out the
You know what
window,
I wish?
realistic expectations.
I wish we could write the things down that we said and when they become accurate and we can have like a like celebration lights going off.
Yeah.
Confetti falling down. I want that when we make a right prediction. I want that. Can we make that happen?
Yeah, once a year we can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually on opening day.
Once a year. Marsh had his on opening day. Once a year we're right about something, so sure, we can do that.
I want to be able to toot my own horn.
I hear you.
But Mizzou can win this weekend, so it's not there yet. Shout out to Justice Haynes.
Look, Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. Mizzou beat Vanderbilt. So there's that. I just haven't seen Mizzou do anything where I'm like, okay, I see how you're winning games.
Mm-hmm.
I see how you're winning this game. Like, they don't have a dominant rushing game. Rushing game hasn't been a problem. Like, that is the best we have said. The rushing game hasn't been a problem this year. It's actually been pretty good.
Noel is
But
out.
it hasn't been dominant, and Noel's out. Brady Cook hasn't played exceptionally well.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't been a moment where he has taken over a game.
I mean, he did last week.
In the for the fourth quarter in the comeback, sure.
But you mean dominant, like 5 touchdown passes,
Yes.
not to the other team.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how they're going to win going into this game. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, let's use hockey for example, right? Like the Oilers have had their issues with puck prevention, but each game they can hang 6 on you. Mm-hmm. I don't feel that way about Mizzou in any way. Where it's like, you know what? Offense might be an issue, but the pass rush is disgusting.
Right.
They don't do anything exceptionally well this season. Mm-hmm. Will that change? I hope so. I hope they pull off a massive upset tomorrow in Tuscaloosa. I would much rather talk about Mizzou as a playoff contender, just like we were at the start of the year when everybody was excited. But each and every week, all they've done is sow the seed of doubt, even in victories. And I'm sorry, because Mizzou fans right now are probably upset that I'm saying that.
Especially Bird Hat guy.
Especially Bird Hat guy.
They don't
But
wanna
if
hear you.
if you're being honest, like I'm a Falcon fan, I know that team's a fraud. You just got to admit it sometimes.
I don't like when you say that.
They're a fraud, and they're going to lose. And they're going to lose this weekend in Tampa.
I don't.
They are. They're going to lose this weekend in Tampa.
You're doing the reverse psychology thing.
I'm not
a fan of it.
I'm not doing the reverse psychology thing. They're going to lose 20-13.
You believe that?
I do, with every fiber in my being, or of my being, or whatever the saying is.
Why would they lose to Tampa, who does
Tampa's
not?
going to run all over them.
That's all they. So if they only got Mike Evans is out.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin is out.
Correct.
And they don't have – who else are they throwing the ball? Is Scotty Miller still there? I don't even know if he's
No, it's Trey Palmer. It's the rookie McMillan.
Cade Otton.
And it's Cade Otton.
Yeah.
And Sterling
They're going to have
Shepard.
8 people in the box and say, Baker, if you can beat us, go ahead.
And he will.
That would be
if you got an ounce of sense, Baker, go ahead. We're going to have one high safety. We're going to run cover 3. We're going to run cover 1. We're going to bring all the linebackers and safeties, other strong safety, down into the box. Run it if you can. You don't got Mike Evans, who is an elite receiver, future Hall of Famer, in my opinion. You don't got Chris Godwin, who is a separator. He made a play a couple of weeks ago where he caught a ball in traffic, ran over a guy, and just ran past everybody else. You don't got him. So Baker, if you can do this, have at it, my man.
You're talking too much sense. You're talking too practically.
They get.
Atlanta's linebackers are my size.
You're a nice sized guy.
Well, I'm no middle linebacker.
You have a nice figure.
Thanks. First of all, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I feel very uplifted right now.
You're kind of doubting yourself right now. You could play.
I'm getting
probably
washed.
not Mike linebacker. You're more of a Will linebacker, depending on your speed.
But Carey, I'm 6 foot 215. I'm getting washed.
That's a nice sized linebacker in today's NFL.
Anthony, you could play for the Falcons.
You could. You and Matthew Judon.
I don't know what you mean.
You know where this is going.
I think it was a crab sandwich. I think it was a crab sandwich. And Matthew Judon hasn't played well. So I got a double crab sandwich there. All right. Freedom Friday continues.
Instead, you're the coach.
Next on 101 ESPN. I will be coaching on Sunday. I got stuff to do on Sunday, okay? I can't play outside linebacker for Atlanta. All right. Freedom Friday continues next on 101 ESPN. 3:06, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Freedom Friday continues here in the Fast Lane. This is where you can pitch ideas to us. If you want us to talk about something specific, great. Send it into the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. We do this every last Friday of the month. It's your show. So without further ado, Marsh, what's our next topic?
Yeah, from the 636, I really like this one. Who will have the bigger impact for their respected team? Masyn Winn for the Cardinals or Dylan Holloway for the Blues? And also, I would go as far as if we want to replace Dylan Holloway, maybe we can answer this question. No. Come on, Carey.
No.
Why would you score 2 goals last night?
Why would you replace him?
Why do you want to replace him?
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
But we can do 2 of these questions, Masyn Winn, Dylan Holloway, and then do a Masyn Winn or Philip Broberg.
Man, the way Philip Broberg has looked and played right now, that's a tough one. But Masyn Winn is your leadoff hitter and your shortstop. You're talking about a premium position and somebody that is, at the very least, drawing Rookie of the Year consideration. Mm-hmm. The sky's the limit for Masyn Winn. So,
can we hold off until the end of the year and see how?
You got to answer it now. It's Freedom Friday. That's what Freedom Friday is all about.
Well, it's unfair because I've only seen 7 games from Dylan Holloway and Broberg. Can I see at least 80?
No.
82?
Nope.
41?
Masyn Winn's the answer.
I don't think that's okay. Okay, Masyn Winn. I agree.
Thank you.
Okay. Marshy.
I'm really thinking about this one because I'm thinking where are both franchises right now in their retool / rebuild? I think Dylan Holloway and or Philip Broberg get the Blues out of that quicker than Masyn Winn does, because Masyn Winn, the games, the way the sport is, it's completely different, right? Like Masyn Winn could be all-star, Gold Glove, Fielding Bible Award winner, and then the rest of your team just can't get on base or score.
Yeah.
Whereas, it's just different, right? Like, the sport is completely different. I wonder if those 2 dudes, or Dylan Holloway, whoever you want to use for the Blues, if they help the Blues get out of that quicker than what Masyn Winn could provide for the Cardinals. And that's nothing against Masyn Winn, but he's just one guy.
I want to change my answer.
I also think it's difficult. Go ahead, Carey.
Broberg.
That wasn't today. It was Holloway, wasn't it?
Well, I added. Yeah, I
am known.
I double barreled.
You look like a kid right there. It's like, see, Mom said it was okay. That's what you just did to me.
Just what there was too. See,
it was like I was staring at Killian. It's like, Mommy said it was okay.
Broberg.
All right.
Yeah.
Why is that? And why is that?
Because I think what I've seen from him so far is it's been outstanding. And when Marshy brought up the point that the Blues may be closer to being playoff bound or being a team that can actually make a run in the playoffs or put themselves in the playoffs, I think they're closer to that than the Cardinals are, which would mean that Philip Broberg's play is more impactful at this moment than what Masyn Winn's would be. So that's why. Because Marshy had a great point, and I agreed with him.
I also think it's very difficult to compare baseball to any other sport.
It's just a different sport.
Because it's so individualized, too. Obviously, Masyn Winn defensively is part of a larger cause. The lineup, part of a larger cause. But it's still, you can better evaluate an individual than you can, let's say, a hockey, you got a hockey team where somebody's playing 18 to 20 something minutes a night, and the rest of the time they're not on the ice, they're not contributing. It's a total team sport. It's almost like trying to gauge an offensive lineman, an individual offensive lineman. Well, they work together as a unit.
Yeah.
So baseball is a little tougher when you're comparing it to football or hockey, even more so than like basketball. Mm-hmm. Basketball, you can kind of do the individual thing. Like Michael Jordan, if you had Michael Jordan, you put him on any other team, he's going to dominate faces. He's got the chip on the shoulder, he's going to dominate your face. Other than that, how can you do that with baseball?
Yeah, usage is different, from hockey to basketball, even though the sport is 5-on-5.
Right.
You're moving back and forth.
It's an individual sport and a team game. That's what baseball is.
Yeah.
And I think the only other sport that is somewhat like that, a little bit, would be basketball, because there's only 5 guys.
I think the most...
Not the burger place.
I love Five Guys.
Burgers and fries.
They are. And then they give you the extra fries in the bag. They don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Right? They give you the cup, and then they look at you and say,
"Yeah,
I got you.
I got you."
There's some more fries in there.
You look like an extra fry guy.
Yeah. You gotta love it.
I think that the most team aspect of baseball, other than like fielding, could be when you are at the plate, like how deep you go into counts, like how you set up the next at bat for your teammate. Sure. But I'm really thinking there. Like I'm really getting deep into that. It's not like you're weaving throughout the playing surface, with your teammate, making passes or, dialing up plays. It's like, hey, I go up there, I take an at bat. I either get on base or I don't, and then the next guy comes up and he's got to do the same thing.
Yeah, we're not talking about an offensive lineman opening up a lane for you as a running back, and that fullback getting to the next level and making a block or that pulling guard. There's so much.
Football is the ultimate team sport.
I think hockey is too.
Well, okay.
Whoa. Let's talk about it.
I think football is the ultimate team sport. I think you can have 10 guys doing the right thing, and one guy doesn't know the snap count, or one guy doesn't know the blocking assignment, or one guy doesn't know the coverage, and they're striking up the damn band. So, if you got 5 guys doing their job up here, you still got one back there that can make an electric save, right? You can make a play.
That's a good point.
I will say, though, that in hockey...
40 of them.
Yeah. And they only allow one. Go.
In hockey, you have forwards, defenseman, and a goaltender, but at some point, in order to be a successful team...
You got to pull the goalie.
In the first period, especially if you're down by a couple. That's Anthony's philosophy.
Yep.
But no, you have to play defense. Even if you are an offensive player, you have to play defense.
Yeah.
Whereas in football, if you want to be successful,
can you get away with it? So
you can get away with it if you are the best player in the world and you can outscore your problems. But in football, the offense isn't playing defense. The offense could be great. Tom Brady was unbelievable against the Eagles in the Super Bowl the second time around against Nick Foles. Unbelievable. His defense was terrible. They let up a score like almost every single drive, and he lost the Super Bowl
because there were probably 8, 9, or 10 guys doing their job, and 1, 2, or 3 not. That's what I'm saying. Like in football, I can only go with the 11 people on the field at the time, right? If all 11 of those people are in sync and aligned and know exactly what they're doing and how to do it properly, you got a good offense, you got a good defense, you got a good special teams. If you take one snapper and he snaps the damn ball low and 10 other guys are doing their job properly, the ball is not going to get kicked or it's going to get blocked. You got a holder who doesn't place the ball down properly, 10 guys going through their mechanics properly, one guy not. The kick is going to be blocked. Same thing with offense. If I got a left tackle that doesn't know, hey, there's a defensive end there, I get paid to block him. Oh, nope, I'm going to pick up that linebacker, forget the DN. And he goes and hits the quarterback in the back of the head, sack, fumble. 10 guys doing their job, one guy not. So for me, it's about, to me, football, and I'm clearly biased here.
As am I, right? Like, I think, though, that, you're not wrong. I think we're just looking at it completely different. Like, I look at it as, okay, the offense would then have to play defense. Like, you'd have to have 11 Travis Hunters out there.
Yeah.
And then that is how... Because, again, special teams, those guys, they're not superstars, right? But a special teams player could ultimately be the difference if you lose a game.
All right, I'll make that trade-off with you. You got to play offense and defense. Mm-hmm. Now you don't get to go off the field every 30, 40 seconds. You got to stay out there. You don't get to go off the ice. You got to play the entire period on offense and defense until a whistle blows.
I'll tell you right now, I've done that in men's league. 5 guys on the ice for a full however much time we played. It was one of the worst things I've ever done in my life. And it's not like I am not in shape as good as I once was. And you better believe that there was a water bottle sitting right there on the bench I'm talking mid-play. Skate by the bench, get a little swig. There was 0 back checking. There was none of that. Anthony, the clear at camp was in full force that game. And I'll tell you right now. We came out with a victory.
There you go.
Yeah, you did, Marshy. Of course you did. That's it. Marsh went to the first Clear camp.
Yeah.
It did. It was that night.
Okay.
Yes. All right. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Freedom Friday continues next. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. It's Freedom Friday. This is where you pick out the topics as the listener, and we got to talk about it.
Don't sound like
Them
don't
are the
say it
rules.
like. Well, you said
That
it
was
like
very
that
doom
was
and gloom.
I mean, we got to talk about it.
Yeah.
We get to talk about it.
We want to talk about
you
it.
go.
AJ and Big Justice will give you a big doom right now.
All right.
Have you heard those guys?
No, I haven't.
The boom or doom guys?
Nope.
We bring the boom?
Nope.
Oh, man, you're missing out.
All right, fair enough.
Either.
Yeah, actually, they make you pull your hair out if you watched about a
good thing for
2-minute
me.
video.
Don't have that problem.
You're good, CD.
Yep.
All right, what's our next Freedom Friday
Yeah,
question?
G-Dog from the Snake Pit wants to know if any of us have tattoos.
Yeah. I got a sleeve. Come all the way up to my chest. Got another one on my chest. Yeah. Gonna get a half sleeve here. Gonna get a sleeve on my leg eventually. Yeah. I do. Sure do.
Nice.
Yep.
I don't have any.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't have
Really?
any. Yep. I haven't been
That
opposed to
surprises
it.
me.
I kind of always wanted one, but I never knew what I was going to get. Now I'm 42 with 3 kids, so, you know.
I got my 3 kids' names on my chest. Right here. Yep.
You should get. You ever see those bumper stickers with the little stick figure family? Get that on your back or something.
There you go.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, one of them is like Batman though.
One's Batman, one's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Lincoln loves Spider-Man, so that's
there
what
you
he's going to
go.
be for Halloween. Spider-Man. Wow. Yeah.
You think it's surprising that I don't have tattoos?
I do.
Really?
I mean, yeah.
I come off as a tattoo guy.
Yes.
I feel like most people have tattoos.
Like not one.
I'm not opposed to it. Yeah, I just like I don't know what I would get, but if I did get one, I get on my arm. But I'm so not weird, but like if I get one, I have to get a sleeve. Like
There
it
you
can't
go.
just be there by itself because then it'd bother me
It's
for whatever
lonely.
reason. It is lonely, so I'd have to get like a full sleeve, and it'd only be like one though, like one arm. That's it, nothing else.
Okay.
But it can't just be like a random tattoo. Like it's got to have meaning to it. That's just for me. I know nothing against anybody that has a tattoo. Like if you went roller skating with Dennis Rodman and got one.
Yeah,
On your
right.
back.
On your lower back.
On your lower back.
Weird. He got the same tattoo on his belly.
Right. Yeah, that was really. And he tells that story so freely, too, Jamie. Jamie's so open about
He's
that.
very open about it.
I always thought sleeves would look cool.
Yeah.
Both arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look like you would roll your sleeve up with the cigarette pack in it. You used to do that when you were
Somebody in
younger.
the 50s?
When you were younger, you never did that? He doesn't look like he'd roll his sleeve up with have a cigarette pack in it.
What? When I was younger.
He's the
Like
guy.
the candy cigar, the candy cigarettes. You used to have the candy cigarettes. I did.
How about that as a toy, too? Or a candy. That's what Carey and I grew up with. Candy cigarettes.
Yeah, I used to have those too.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah, they came in those little boxes,
Yeah.
and sometimes they would actually have like little like superhero characters on them.
There you go.
I
How
think.
terrible is that?
That's terrible.
Superman, he liked to smoke fake candy cigarettes
Yeah.
while he's saving the world.
Why don't
Yeah,
you?
you should too.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, you used to, they used to have like the sugar or whatever all over it. So when you blew out, they'd,
Pretty cool.
jeez.
80s was a great time, man.
I love all those memes too that you find on like Instagram. I saw one today. Have you guys ever seen like the two dads that do the press conferences?
I think
At
so.
least the two
yeah.
dumb dads or whatever. They give fake press conferences about like how their vacation went, and
That's pretty
funny.
It's
I've
pretty
seen
funny,
that, yeah.
But one of them did one where he's talking about school lunches, and he did one like if you're a parent in the 50s, and you're like, what do you want for your lunch, son? And he goes through the whole thing. He's like, okay, well, let's go find your mother. We'll tell her to make it. Like it was the 50s. It was the 50s dad, and then the 80s dad was talking about like dealing with a bully, like putting like dog crap in the lunch so that when the bully pulls the
That's
lunch,
what
you
he's
get that. In the 90s, it was just a note with money. Here you go. I had to go to work early. Take this. And then like present day, it's I have pretzels for you. I carved out some of the salt for you, so I know you don't like too much of the salt. I also used, and like he goes through this whole menu, and he's like, and I know you only eat the pretzels, so I look forward to opening that later and throwing the rest of it away. Like, it was just the decades of parents. I thought it was hilarious and spot on. Yeah. It's good stuff. I was dying though with the 90s. Just a note. Here you go. Here's your lunch money. I had to go to work early. Good luck.
I couldn't tell you how many times I actually brought my lunch to school. It was always like Bavarian pretzels, or not pretzels. It was the Bosco sticks.
Okay.
Bosco sticks and pizza. Like every day.
Every day.
You got pizza at school lunch. That was like the best day.
That and the chicken tenders.
Yeah.
Chicken tenders and fries.
The pizza?
Oh. Yeah. Oh, it was a pizza day.
Up. Yeah.
Fridays, I always felt in high school, was chicken fingers and fries. Used to love that
Good
day.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And get an ice cream. Oh. Then go out for football practice, barf it all up.
From the 636, do you guys think that the 4 main professional sports leagues have prioritized entertainment over building a winner?
On a team-by-team basis or the leagues?
I'm
assuming team by team, right?
I mean, why don't we do both then?
I think we give let's talk about the teams, right? I think we give too much credit to teams. And Marsh, you and I had a discussion about this on air not too long ago when you were like, how does this an NFL product? You know, I think you were talking about maybe the backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, like how is this so bad?
Yeah, how is this so bad? And Carey and I were both saying because there's some teams that just flat out don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think we give too much credit to teams for like being skillful about building an entertainment product as opposed to a winner. No, I just think some teams don't know what the hell they're doing. And they just miss the mark. And it feels like, oh, you only care about the profits, or you only care about entertaining. No, you just got guys in place that don't know how to build an actual roster that is going to win. So that's kind of my take on a team-by-team basis. The leagues are supposed to give you an entertaining product.
Yeah.
That's what it is. A movie company, when it produces a movie, is supposed to give you an entertaining movie. If not, you don't go see it, and it flops, and they don't make their money back.
Right.
The leagues are going to put out an entertaining product. That's why you have rule changes that often favor offense, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Especially in football, where a lot of people playing fantasy football. You want to see points. So from a league standpoint, yes, I think they prioritize profits and entertainment. Team by team, though, I think they're trying to build a winner. Some teams know what they're doing, some teams don't.
So, like, let's use the NBA for an example. Like, the NBA, it feels like, well, if we bring in all these 3 superstars, like, we're going to win an NBA title. It's like, that's just not how it works. Like, that worked with LeBron.
I blame the players on that, though, not the teams. I think the players have most of the control in the NBA. You see with LeBron. You've seen it with the Warriors. They want to play, like Kawhi. They want to play, some guys want to play with other superstars. Yeah. And they don't really give a damn about whether or not it's the best roster or the best depth. It's just they want to play with their buddies.
Yeah. It hasn't worked. I mean, it worked for the Celtics. It worked for the Heat. They went 2-2 in the finals. It didn't work for the Brooklyn Nets when they had KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. Didn't work for the Clippers with James Harden, Kawhi, and Paul George. Like, it doesn't. That doesn't always work. There's another one that the Suns last year didn't work. They just with KD and Bill and Booker. Like, I think it's hard because what it does, it just kind of decimates your bench. You don't have role players in the way that you need them.
Right.
You got guys that are on the bench, but not guys that can compete at the level that you need them to compete when that second unit comes in. When that second group comes in, they're not as good as the opposing team's second unit, and they can't compete with the opposing team's first unit, which if you have better players and you're not spending so much on those superstars, they probably could.
Like, you brought up movies, right? Like, yeah, there's movies that are entertaining, but, like, the plot stinks, the characters stink.
Yeah.
But, man, there's a ton of I just name any Michael Bay movie.
I was about to say, name any Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be a lot of explosions.
It's going to be a lot of explosions.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Like, it's fun. I can turn my brain off for a second.
Yes.
And it's fun. But I'd prefer a movie that has, like, some substance to it, because at the end of the day, like, those movies are going to make the most money. And I feel like, people that are making movies these days, I don't know if they get that anymore. Like, let's make a good movie. Let's make a good roster, and the entertainment and the money will follow that. I don't know if people, like, have put 2 and 2 together, and it's baffling to me.
Right. Yeah, in some regards, there is a formula to it, but I wonder if people don't want to follow that formula because they don't trust that it'll work. And in the movie industry, this is why you get a lot of remakes.
It works.
You get a lot of remakes.
Yeah, a lot of reboots.
Yeah.
And typically those are terrible.
Right.
Unless it's Dune. Like, Dune was way better than... Well, actually, I don't know. I kind of like the first Dune movie.
Never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
It's fine. I mean, it's super old, but super old. But like the new one looks visually stunning. Great movie. I don't know. I kind of have a little soft spot for the old one, but they just, I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Well, Marsh, you got to
maybe it goes to your point. These people don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. They got some money, but they don't know what they're doing. All right. Freedom Friday continues next with your topics here on 101 ESPN.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues take down the Toronto Maple Leafs last night. 5-1 the final score. We talked about the Blues earlier in the show. If you missed that segment or if you miss anything from this Freedom Friday right here in the Fast Lane, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just go to the podcast page. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Last night on Thursday Night Football, the Rams defeated the Vikings 30-20. We also discussed that as well. Once again, head to the podcast page. Tonight, we have Game 1 of the World Series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the New York Yankees. Pregame starts at 6 o'clock, and you can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. Freedom Friday continues right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Well, we got a Freedom Friday question about fantasy football, whether or not we'll do the fantasy football segment where you send in some questions and CD and I do our best to help navigate you. Absolutely. Yeah, if that's what you want to do. Again, this is a Freedom Friday. This is up to you. It's your show. So how about we do that in about 10 minutes? You start to send in your fantasy football questions, and then we'll do it again in about 10 minutes or so. We do this each and every Friday, so it should be fun. Marsh, what's our latest Freedom Friday question?
Love this one from the 309. If you had to be a high school teacher, what subject would you teach, or what kind of class would you create / what would it be about?
Gym.
What?
I would be a gym teacher.
What?
And it would be awesome. Get a chance to create games.
Yeah.
Would you bring back dodgeball?
I would bring, yeah, well, apparently you can't.
No, you can't play dodgeball.
Well, we played in high school, we played a different version of dodgeball. It was essentially dodgeball. I think it was called like jailbreak or something where like if you threw the ball and it landed in the basketball hoop from the other side. I could be wrong on the name. I forgot what it was. But if you make it in the hoop, everyone who got knocked out essentially comes back, which was pretty cool. But we didn't use actual dodgeballs. We used these like small foam balls.
I know what you're talking about.
But man, you could still rifle those things. You always wanted the newer one too. You saw a little crack, maybe some of the foam sticking out. We'll just toss that one to the side. Mm-hmm. Maybe use it as we grab two of them. Maybe throw that one up in the air as a distraction, and that's when you zing it in there.
I like that. I like that approach.
The one in the air when they get to looking up and then
hit it right in the neck.
Throat. Yep.
Yeah. Everything has got to be below the neck.
Absolutely.
Right. Now
they play Gaga ball now.
Yeah, that's what my son calls it.
Yeah, which is funny because it's supposed to be it's supposed to be like I don't know.
It has to bounce, right?
It's got to bounce.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Killian came home one day, and he had all knuckles scraped up because he was throwing the ball low. Was scraping his knuckles. I'm like, how is this better?
He's aggressive. He wants to win. I knew I liked him. He wants to win.
Killian's funny. He is the absolute sweetest kid in the world. You get him on a field, and you're like, whose son is that? Yeah, he gets aggressive.
I would probably teach a life skills class.
A life skills class?
Yeah, you know, these young people they graduate from high school, they don't know much of anything. They don't know how to, they don't know anything financial in terms of how to manage money. Mm-hmm. We used to do this when I was coaching. We would kind of do life skill things on, I think we did it on Wednesdays during the off season, where we would talk everything other than football.
Sure.
And, we go over, okay, you make this much in rent, and this is your job. And, you have this much for rent, and this is your job. This is how much you make. And these are your bills, and this is how you have to manage said money. Go.
Funny how that...
It kind of translates to real life, huh?
Yeah, funny how that's not, like, part of the core curriculum when we grew up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Nobody,
you think it would be.
You need to know how to manage your money, or you're going to be... looking for help and assistance in all different places. So yeah, I would help.
Like the government.
Yeah. Or your parents.
You see where this is going.
Or your cousin, Vinny.
Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah, your cousin Vinny.
My cousin Vinny?
Great movie.
The lawyer?
Yeah, great movie.
I think it's a great call on that.
It would be something like that.
Yeah.
I think I would do like sports finances or something. I took a class.
Finances.
Yeah, I think that's what it was called. I don't know.
Sports finances?
Yeah,
How to gamble?
No,
On sports? Teach them young, teach them right. Never bet the under.
I think what you're referring to is like
Last night was a perfect example of that. Perfect example. The under, and then we get a safety, and then boom. If you had the under,
is that what happened? Like I remember the safety. Is that what happened?
Go back and look at what happened last night.
No,
like,
I remember watching the game, but what was the
America
total?
had their money on Minnesota and probably the under or whatever. The under was like 49 or something. And it ended up being 50. 49 and a half or whatever.
That's a kick. That's a kick straight to the Johnson.
Yeah.
No, but you're talking about like salary cap, how to build a team.
Kind of. So I took a class in high school where we were in charge. I can't remember what the class was called. I mean, this was a while ago, but where it was basically like Sims, but you were running a sports franchise, and we used like football was like the sport that we had to pick, but you were in charge of like parking, prices, concessions, like all these things. And then you'd hit a button and it would simulate like, week to week. And then you'd have to adjust stuff. And like, it was so much fun.
It's kind of like
much fun.
It's kind of like a business class almost.
Yeah, it was like sports business. Maybe that's what it was called.
It sounds better than sports
finance.
gambling.
Yeah, no, I didn't say sports gambling.
He said finances.
Yeah.
Come on, Carey.
Financing sports.
Pay attention.
Financing your life through sports.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that.
By the way,
go the solid route. You get a nice 401k. You work for a company. You work your rear end off. You save. You invest properly,
and then you retire.
Anthony, since you're the new gym teacher here on the Fast Lane, from the 314, ever play handball? That game was fun because it was like impossible to not score. It was so damn easy to score in that game if you were any type of athletic. Kind of dumb because it was so easy but fun at the same time. Team handball is very fun.
I don't know if I remember.
Oh man, it's so fun. It's like soccer but with your hands. Like you could only, and this is hard because we're on radio here. Maybe it'd be good for the people in the snake pit, but like, if you had the ball, you could only take, I believe, like 2 or 3 steps, and then you had to pass it. Mm-hmm. And then when you caught it, you can only take 2 or 3 steps or whatever, and then you had to keep going. And then the 3-point arc is like the designated area where you can't shoot the ball. Like you have to throw it outside of that. But like the athletic kids, as the 314 would say, I mean, you're running like as much like steps you could get, and you're one of those guys who just like jumps over the line midair and just chucks it at the net.
Yeah.
So very fun.
Sounds good.
I like floor hockey too.
Floor hockey was great. Floor hockey kind of stunk though, because they always give you those like plastic sticks that are it's a straight curve. And like you could tell which kids actually played hockey in high school and which kids didn't, because you'd see the kids who played hockey, they'd be bending it as much as possible
till you pop it. Yeah.
The forward, the starting center on the top line is like he's got the blade in the back, like shaving it just a little bit to his perfect specs. All right, let's do some fantasy football questions. If you got them, send them in 314-399-9646. We'll answer those here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's do some fantasy football Week 8 questions. So get those in right now. What's up, Marsh?
All right, let's start with the 636. Is it time to sell on Michael Pittman in fantasy football?
Yes.
Especially if Anthony Richardson is there.
I'm so glad.
The starter,
I'm so glad my man Jamie isn't here. But if Joe Flacco isn't playing and Anthony Richardson is your starting quarterback, yeah, right now, it's just not. It's not looking good for the passing game.
No.
Joe Flacco has them rolling when they pass, when he's in.
Plus, he'll actually target him.
Yeah.
But Anthony Richardson is, I mean, it's big play or bust. It's big play or bust or him running. That's it. There's no efficiency to that passing game whatsoever. So, unfortunately, yeah, it is time to sell on Michael Pittman.
I'd probably wait a week. They're taking on the Vikings next week.
Oh, Marsh.
Goodness.
They'll be fine. The Vikings will. They'll be fine.
I don't think so.
Carey, what?
I'm sorry.
What happened? Don't kick a man while he's down.
I've never said that.
I never know. It's just a thing. Somebody said it, and then multiple people started to say it, and now it's insane.
Yeah, but I don't think Carey subscribes to it, is what he's saying.
Not really.
He's
you don't know
fine.
if he's going to get up or not. You don't know what he might grab something on his way up.
Could be a zombie.
He
Look,
could
the
be.
Steelers and I put them in the top 10 and the Stalter stack up, and this is what I get.
I'm sorry. I take it back.
Are you? I don't think you are. Yeah, it doesn't feel like you are. Okay.
I did it to myself. I shouldn't have brought him up. From 636. Should I give Tua his first week back a rest and leave on the bench and start Goff, or should I start Tua?
Who are the Lions playing?
They're playing the Titans. So here's here's the dilemma with that, right? If they get a big lead, Goff probably won't have to throw much. So that's the dilemma. But I think you still got to go with Goff.
I do too.
I mean, he's one of the, outside of Lamar, who's a hotter quarterback right now than Jared Goff.
Well, Tua and the Dolphins are playing the Cardinals. And Tyreek Hill has been patiently waiting. I am so proud of that receiver group for not just losing their mind over the last few weeks. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, like those guys just doing their job, not complaining. I saw them smiling on the sideline. Like they were smiling when they played the Colts last week. They were just smiling halftime. They had like one target each. They weren't upset. Like that is completely abnormal for a receiver position. Those guys probably going to go out this week.
They were furious in that Monday night game against Tennessee. Remember?
Well, that was the first game.
That was
rough. It was rough. That was before they knew what they knew. Mm-hmm. Last week against the Colts, they had smiles on their face. They're like, yeah, it's okay, man.
Tua's coming back next week.
Yeah, Tyreek said he almost cried.
If you're one of those other guys, too, the other quarterbacks, you're like,
you know. Time.
You're Tyrod Taylor. Or not Tyrod Taylor, excuse me. If you're Huntley, you know. Yeah. Or Skylar Thompson.
Yeah. They had one target apiece that game last week.
Not great.
Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Well, that's my point. Like, how hard is it to throw the ball sideways and have your best guy run down the field?
Well,
they kind of tried that in the first game, remember? Against Tennessee?
Yeah.
But, like, how hard is that?
It's a little harder than you think, clearly.
Well, yeah. I mean, I couldn't do it. I probably couldn't throw the ball more than 10 yards.
Plus defenses know what you're doing.
I can throw a bubble to my slot receiver right now. RPO. You got to be close. Get it there. It's really all you're saying he needed to do. And I agree. And then eventually just fake the bubble. Take a shot. Touchdown. This game is really simple.
How hard could it be to remember a play?
It's incredibly hard.
Now therein lies the problem. Remembering it and spitting it out as a quarterback. Yeah. Wait, you said what now? What is it?
Remembering it, spitting it out, and then going and doing it, and then doing it good.
Yeah. It's a lot. Trust me.
probably the most team sport out there.
That's what I said.
Yeah. And that is a callback to earlier in the show.
Yeah. 573 wants to know, start Brian Thomas Jr. from the Jags or scary Terry McLaurin from the Commanders?
Ooh.
Is Jaden Daniels playing or not?
Very good question. I think he is.
Brian Thomas has been great.
I think Jaden Daniels is a game time decision.
I would go with Brian Thomas Jr. Him and Lawrence have had really good chemistry. Brian Thomas Jr., if we weren't playing for Jacksonville and if Malik Neighbors didn't exist, we'd be talking about Brian Thomas. Mm-hmm. He's been great.
Is he the rookie of the year?
No,
Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels.
Oh, yeah. Well, if he's hurt,
he'll be fine.
Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Yeah. If he misses the rest of the year, probably Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. All right,
who's been better offensively?
Nobody.
Well, I guess, let's see how the Bears season progresses.
If Jaden Daniels gets hurt and he misses the rest of the year, then we can start talking about Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm. That's what they got this week. Let's see how that match up.
I don't think Daniels is going to play.
You don't think so? Nope. I thought he was a game. I think he's a game time decision.
Wouldn't you be saying he's a game time decision too?
I would.
And then give all the reps to Mariota?
Probably.
Yeah. I think they're going to hold him out, which is a shame because you get the 1 versus 2 matchup.
Mm-hmm. Brian Thomas, we're in agreement.
Yep. From the 636, interesting one here. Do I start DeAndre Hopkins this week?
Well, it depends on who else you have. I mean, if you're a fantasy player with all the wide receivers they're out right now, so if you got like Chris Godwin who's out, or I don't know, Mike Evans, or you don't know if Deebo Samuel's playing or Juwan Jennings is playing, then yeah, absolutely start DeAndre Hopkins. Amari Cooper caught a touchdown in his first game last week with Buffalo.
From a great quarterback too.
Thank you.
Yep.
From the 314.
You and I are in agreement there.
Yep.
Keenan Allen, Deebo Samuels, T. Higgins, or Ladd McConkey. Pick one.
T. Higgins.
He's hurt.
He's hurt.
Is he hurt again?
Got hurt yesterday or
in
today.
Practice?
Yep. T. Higgins is hurt. Now, he's not out. He's just hurt in practice. He got hurt in practice. I think it was a hamstring injury.
Oh, I hate hamstrings for receivers. Yeah. I hate them.
So you got Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, and who?
Deebo
had pneumonia or had what did he have?
He had pneumonia. If Deebo is good, I would play Deebo. They're going to need somebody.
Yeah, but pneumonia and trying to play, trying to breathe, let alone trying to run past professional defensive backs.
Right.
Probably not recommended. I know he had it last week and it kind of caught him off guard. I don't know how much you can. I think you're still trying to, catch your breath.
Yeah.
When you have, some things going on with your lungs.
I'll say Deebo. If Deebo is,
I'm probably going.
You got to make the decision too, because the 49ers play early. The 49ers play on Sunday night.
I'm going Keenan Allen.
All right, go Keenan Allen.
Yeah. Because if T is hurt with a hamstring, you're unsure about Deebo Samuel with his pneumonia in lungs, and Keenan Allen was injured earlier, but he had 2 touchdowns the last time they played, and they just came off a bye week. So I would say Keenan Allen because he's probably the healthiest, freshest one. Ladd McConkey, I don't know what the charge. You said no.
No.
Charge.
That's always
Their
tough.
passing game isn't great.
Really.
It's always tough when you have a guy who's injured and you don't really know what to do with him. We'll use Puka Nacua as an example. Ooh, do I start him? Do I
Did you start him yesterday?
I don't have him. So
I thought you had him.
No, I have Cooper Kupp, which he was fine, fantasy-wise. But imagine all those people that didn't start Puka Nacua.
You'd be a fool if you didn't. I started Cooper in one of my leagues. I know. Those two play, roll them in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get.
It's kind of a good way to always look at it. If he's active,
play him because they're not going to. You're going to get targets. Like those two are going to get targets. There are certain players that you just plug and play. If they're healthy enough to play,
they're not going to be decoys.
No.
If they're active, they're not going to be decoys.
Well, the minute you take him out, if they have been struggling, the minute you take him out, that's when he goes and gets like 25 to 30 points. And then you're sitting there like, what have I done?
What did I do? I ruined my life. All right, do we have any more? You want to wrap it up.
We need a new Gauntlet contestant.
Let's get it in then. 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line. So if you want to play in the Gauntlet, text in Gauntlet, and you'll have an opportunity to take on either Marsh, CD, or me next.
Warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. We welcome in Brandon to the Gauntlet. What's up, Brandon?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing all right, man. Appreciate you listening. Thanks for playing today. Who would you like to take on?
Let's go with you.
Oh, man.
No. You're looking forward to that.
Do you like hockey?
Yeah, I do like hockey.
Probably going to get hockey, Brandon.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. All right. Hey, good luck to you.
All right, thanks, you too.
Thank you.
All right, Anthony is heading off into the cone of silence. And so, first time playing?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, tell Marshy to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel, Mars.
Is there a category you would prefer, or would you prefer not to say?
Yeah, I'll just not say and let it be.
Well, I don't know that it matters. What did Anthony say when he left?
Hockey.
Okay. What do we get?
Hockey.
Hockey. All right.
Let's do it.
All right, Brandon. Here we go. So Marshy's giving me the codes. So you know how this goes. If you answer the question correctly without the options, you get 2 points. If you answer it correctly with the options, you get 1 point. And if you answer incorrectly, you get 0 points. Marshy is having some issues over there with launch codes. I don't know. Did it?
They weren't stapled together. That's what it was.
Okay. And I just turned my computer off. I hope I don't need it. All right. All right, Brendan, here we go. You ready?
Yep.
All right. How many times did Curtis Joseph... Phew, let me try that again. How many teams did Curtis Joseph play for in his career?
Let's see. I'm just going to take a shot, and I'm going to say 3.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, question number 2. Of those teams, which team did Cujo end his career with in the 2008-2009 season?
Let me get the options on that.
Your options are the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Calgary Flames, or the Phoenix Coyotes.
Again, let's go Maple Leafs.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 3. Who scored the first Blues goal of the season this year? Did we lose you?
Let's go Carey.
All right.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right. Through the first 6 games played, who led the NHL in goals? You can tell these questions were made a little longer ago.
Let's get the options.
Options are Nikita Kucherov, Artemi Panarin, or Leon Draisaitl.
Let's go Panarin.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, we'll get Anthony back in here. Is he able to see you? Is he on his way back in?
Here he comes.
All right, here he comes. Brendan, how you feeling?
Not too great after that.
Okay, well, Anthony is putting on his earbuds now, and he's back in.
What do we got?
How you feel?
Good.
What topic would you prefer?
Football.
Okay. All right. Tell him, Marshy.
Well, it's hockey.
Yeah.
Anthony, you should pack a lunch.
Yeah, you should.
Are you ready?
No.
All right. Here we go.
All right.
How many teams did Curtis Joseph play for in his career?
Oh, Cujo? I have one number in mind, but I'd like to see if it's one of the options.
Would you like the options?
Yes, please.
All right. Is it 4, 5, or 6?
I had 4 in mind. I'll go with 4. Final answer.
Question number 2. Of those teams, which team did Cujo end his career with in the 2008-2009 season?
Ooh. Options.
Options are the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Calgary Flames, or the Phoenix Coyotes.
I don't think it's the Coyotes, and I think it's the Maple Leafs. I picture him in a Maple Leafs uniform. Toronto, final answer.
Question number 3. Who scored the first Blues goal of the season this year?
That would have been in Seattle. And that would have been Jordan Kyrou, who we all called. We all said, who's going to score the first goal? It's going to be Jordan Kyrou. And then Jamie was the one that tried to take credit for it. He's like, I had Jordan Kyrou. We all had Jordan Kyrou. But, of course, everybody remembers the fact that he did not get the hat trick that night. But it is Jordan Kyrou. Final answer.
Question number 4. Through the first 6 games played, who led the NHL in goals?
It's not McDavid or McKinnon. Avs got off to a really rough start. options.
Options are Nikita Kucherov, Artemi Panarin, or Leon Draisaitl.
Nope, I think it's Kucherov. Nikita Kucherov, final answer.
All right. Whew, let's do this.
Let's do that hockey.
Do that hockey. Let's start off with, let's just go down the line. Question number 1. How many teams did Curtis Joseph play for in his career? Anthony, with the options, you said 4. Brendan, without the options, you said 3. Another 3 is not an option. The correct answer is...
It is 6. Wow, he played for six clubs?
Yeah.
Wow.
0-0 tie.
I guess so.
Of those teams, which team did Cujo end his career with in 2008-2009 season? Brendan, you took the options. You said the Maple Leafs. Anthony, you also took the options. You said the Maple Leafs. The correct answer is...
It is the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Where to go, Brandon?
1-1.
Yeah, nice job.
Thank you.
Question number 3. Who scored the first Blues goal of the season this year? Brendan, you said Kyrou. Anthony, you said Kyrou. The correct answer is...
Should have had a hat trick. It was Jordan Kyrou.
But you both needed you both did not need the options. It is 3-3.
Nice job, Brandon.
Comes down to this.
Thank you, Chris.
Through 6 games played, who leads the NHL in goals? You have different answers. Brendan, you took Artemi Panarin. Anthony, you took Nikita Kucherov. Leon Draisaitl was also an option, which neither of you took. If it's Kucherov, well, Anthony wins in a tight one.
Battle.
4-3. If it's Panarin, well, then Brendan takes you down 4-3. If it's Draisaitl, well, we're going to have to walk it off. Brendan.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose. Not today.
It was Nikita Kucherov, Brandon. Good job. He got you by 1 in a nail biter.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Hey, Brandon, nice job, man. That was a heck of a battle.
Yeah, thank you. You guys have a good weekend.
You too. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Brandon.
Appreciate you. Thanks.
Bye.
Were you sweating over there?
Nah.
You knew it the whole
Definitely.
time?
No, I was definitely sweating. I knew it wasn't Draisaitl, but I was between Kucherov and Panarin. So I was hoping that you would say he chose Draisaitl. So when you said Panarin, started to sweat a little bit.
A little bit.
Now, was it because you didn't want to lose, or is it because you didn't want to lose and then go sit over there in the penalty box?
It was totally because I didn't want to lose and go to the penalty box. I don't want that penalty box. It's weird over there.
It's very weird. It's hard to hear.
It's hard to hear. The mic is weird. The computer doesn't work.
It's an odd space, and it's
Totally.
built that way because if you lose, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be comfortable.
It's definitely a punishment
It is.
to go sit over there. We should have an update guy that sat over there every day.
How did it work
Like
out?
Sports Center update?
Yeah, Sports Center update.
Oh,
Had
nice.
one guy over there. His name was Tom Casey.
I remember old TC.
Yeah, Tom Casey.
Shout out to TC.
Yep. I don't want to go there.
TC, that is the name of the Minnesota Twins mascot.
TC, really?
Was that for Twin Cities?
Maybe.
That probably
That
would make a lot of sense. Yeah.
Well, TC Bear.
Wasn't, remember the Titans, TC something or other?
Yeah, TC Williams.
TC Williams.
Right?
I don't know. Who knows?
Well,
I don't know.
I think Google does. I think Marsh and I know. I would love it if you had just a little bit more passion
You
for
asked me. You all looked at me as if I knew the answer, and I
looked
didn't.
at both of you.
It was TC Williams.
I said
Thank
I don't know. I said I don't know.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
I didn't know. Denzel is what I know. Perfect.
Ronnie Bass.
Left side, strong side. All right.
That is such a good
It
movie.
is a really good movie. It's a really good
It's
movie.
actually a documentary.
It is actually a documentary.
Yeah.
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 Well,
Kind of.
Yeah.
Freedom Friday continues next on 101 ESPN. It's a Freedom Friday here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. This is where you have an opportunity to pick out the topics. We do have the Sports Six-Pack coming up, but we're rolling here on a Freedom Friday. So, Marsh, without further ado, what else you got?
All right, Anthony, I think you'll like this one. If you could make a starting five for a basketball team out of human superheroes, no aliens, like Superman, who would you pick?
Well, is the Hulk's not an alien, right?
No, he's not.
Yeah, I mean, but it's no aliens. You can't have an alien.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have the Hulk. Hulk could be your center.
Yeah.
I think Thor could be
I feel like he would
solid.
foul too much, though.
He probably would.
He'd foul out real quick.
Hulk?
Yeah, he'd be out of the game in like the first minute. He'd be teed up.
But if you also had
It's like Draymond
the Black
Green.
Widow, if you had the Black Widow as like an assistant coach, maybe she can kind of keep him contained. You know what I mean? Kind of neutralize him a little bit. Thor would be an outstanding power forward. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man could be a point guard. Yep. Yeah. He can be the facilitator.
I feel like he would have a tough time dribbling the ball. I feel like the ball would stick to his fingers.
That is true. That'd be tough.
Or maybe he's like Kyrie. Like, you just can't get the ball away from him.
Yeah, it's probably on a string. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
Thor, we can't use him.
Why?
He's an alien, too.
Yeah, he's not from Earth.
He's a god. Okay.
He's from Asgard.
This is tough.
Is Batman not acceptable?
Yeah, what are we doing? We doing Marvel characters? We doing DC characters?
I think both.
No, I think we're going to go Marvel.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think we mix him. You
want to mix and match?
Yeah, like DC's just as good as Marvel.
I think Wolverine
pop the ball.
That only if he's mad as well. And if he does, then you messed up.
I got to have the Winter Soldier.
For sure.
I think the Winter Soldier as a small forward would be just fine.
Yeah, he'd have a good left hook.
He would be a good center, too.
Yeah.
He just backed down the defense.
Can you imagine him out there with that arm out there?
Yeah.
Separation would be incredible.
You're screwed, man.
Flash is the point guard, somebody said.
Okay. All right. If we want to do DC, we could do Flash, yeah.
Flash is good.
I wouldn't have a controversial move here, but I would not have Iron Man on the team.
What?
No.
You can't fly. He'd be traveling.
Probably be the owner.
Right. That's fine.
Yeah.
He'd be the Mark Cuban.
Yeah. Well, actually, Iron Man in the movies, he's dead.
So is
That's
Black
a spoiler
Widow.
alert.
Yeah.
It's
not a spoiler. It came out like 5 years ago.
Still.
It's a spoiler alert.
Some of us haven't seen Top Gun all the way through. You know what I mean?
Why is that, Anthony?
Well, I saw enough.
Hey, this is a great one from the 314, Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, that's true.
Great one. Good reach.
Yep.
Honestly, doesn't need to run the length of the floor.
Yeah, good call.
Inbound, boom, right there is easy 2. Or would it be 3?
It'd be 3.
It'd be 3.
Your feet are behind the line.
That's true. That's good.
Yeah.
Good 3-pointer right there.
Okay. I don't think this team loses or gives up a point.
You think they...
Did you get a team? You got Batman? Is he on the team?
No.
Captain America?
Batman can do everything, Anthony.
With his tool belt, but he can't use the tool belt on basketball.
I don't like where you're going. I don't like where you're going.
He can't use the tool belt with the basketball. What is he going to do?
You're saying Batman's not a superhero.
I'm not saying that.
That's what you're saying.
I'm not saying that.
That's what you just said.
I'm trying to build a winner. Okay?
Is Captain America on your team?
Yeah, of course. He's the captain. I don't know if he's starting, though.
What?
Yeah.
So you got the Hulk at center.
Yep.
Winter Soldier at small forward.
Probably, if not power forward.
Okay.
With that arm.
Okay.
We've got
Iron Man is
the owner.
Is the owner.
Spider-Man is the point guard.
Make him the shooting guard. I thought you were going to make Flash the point guard.
Okay, that's right. Yeah. And then Mr. Fantastic could be the small forward.
Okay.
Or the power forward, depending on where we want the Winter Soldier.
I don't think they're losing.
I don't think they're losing either. Captain America off the bench.
Okay.
Great leadership.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to have that veteran leadership.
Yep. Now who's coaching?
Who's coaching?
Professor X.
That's a good one. I think I'm going with Nick Fury. Samuel L. Jackson.
You got to go Nick Fury.
He got that group of people to work together.
You got to go Nick Fury.
It's got to be him.
You're absolutely right. All right. Yeah, I think we truly put together an unstoppable force. You're not going to lose. I'd be shocked if they give up many points.
How could they?
I mean, Hulk is just standing right there at the rim.
Would you put Iceman in there?
He frees the ball. George Gervin?
No.
He's really good. George Gervin.
Oh, yeah,
was
George
amazing.
Gervin, sure.
He's
Yeah,
amazing.
the actual Iceman. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would not put Iceman on there. I would not have him. I would not have the Human Torch or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, that's also Chris Evans.
Oh, that's right.
He's the same guy.
He's much better as Captain America.
He was pretty good as Captain America. He'd be like a college player. You got to put a different number on.
Right. Yeah, we don't want to do that.
No.
No, he's Captain America. Okay. That's a good question.
Hawkeye, no, that's your least favorite.
Yeah, and Hawkeye can sell beer. I think that's fair.
This is interesting if I can find it once again. From the 314, here's my topic. My Cardinals season tickets increased by 21%. A real reach out by Cards, especially based on their on-field success and reset, ? If this is happening, like what are your thoughts on that?
If it were me, I can only say what I'll do. You do you. I get it. You don't want to maybe give up your season tickets. Maybe you feel like you want to have them for forever and you give them to your kids or what. I don't know what your situation is, but for me, I'm not paying more for a worse product. So I'm giving them up.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, once you give them up, you're in the back of the line if you try to go back in. So maybe something to consider.
I just have a hard time with the notion of paying more for less.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe you look at it and say, hey, this team isn't gonna be this bad for, it's only gonna be a short turnaround, and maybe they're a playoff contender in a year or two, and you want to hang on to them, great. But just based on principle, and I don't blame the Cardinals ticket office. They got to do their job.
Mm-hmm.
But I would, just based on principle, you're calling me and saying, hey, great, do you want to renew? It's going to be more now. More for what?
Is that because of the lack of people that showed up this past year?
Well, I think
they're trying to make up the revenue in that way.
I think that Greg Amser said it best, Carey.
Oh,
this is your fault, Cardinals fans.
Anthony, it's not.
No, it's definitely not. I hope he was drunk that day when he said that. I hope he was hammered. And then we just look at it and you say, man, I was hammered when I said that.
Hell, Ricky, I was high when I said that. The 314 says, I am out with 4 exclamation points, bummed front row bleachers.
Wow, that's tough. But you know what? Stand on your principles, man.
Yeah.
Stand on your principles. Buy individual tickets. Season tickets for this. No, thank you.
I think the whole discussion is interesting because I wonder, not that Cardinal fans care necessarily about what the nation thinks about what the rest of the country.
Some do.
Well,
some get upset. Some get very upset that ESPN doesn't do more of a, and I'm talking about the mothership, not our affiliation.
Right.
But I think there's a segment of Cardinals fans that get very upset because it's all about the Yankees or Dodgers, whoever. And I understand that.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be in a Midwest city, you're not going to get much attention if you're putting out that sort of product.
I just wonder what the nation is going to think if fans start to not go to games at the same rate that they didn't go to games in the back half of last season, if that changes the perspective of this franchise from a national standpoint.
So you're saying,
how do you balance that as a fan? You still want to uphold what the Cardinals are and what the best fans in baseball is, but also, you want to stand on your principle and you don't want to pay 21% more than what you did previously, especially when the product isn't as good.
I understand the nature of your question.
Yeah.
I understand the spirit behind your question. For me, people are going to think whatever they think anyways.
That's true.
They were saying as soon as the Cardinals fans, when they were showing up constantly, other fan bases hated Cardinals fans because why? They're winning. Mm-hmm. The team's winning. And if your team is winning, you become that obnoxious fan base. I don't care where you are. So they're going to think whatever they're going to think.
Mm-hmm. Do you think fans dislike teams, or do you think they dislike fan bases more?
Fan bases.
I think fan bases.
They dislike fan bases.
I really hate the Dodgers. It's got nothing to do with the fans.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
What do you not like about the Dodgers other than that they pay for their players?
I hate their uniforms.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Do you really hate their uniforms?
Yeah, like a light blue and a red. It's just dumb.
Okay.
I hate their stadium, the way it looks.
It does look ugly.
The tan or the yellow.
Dumb.
Looks like faded seats.
It does.
And somebody said at one point that it's the light blue wall is like the ocean, and then the seats are beach. It's terrible.
Oh,
it looks like a minor league stadium.
Yeah.
I understand the traffic aspect, but I hate that they leave. They show up in the third, leave in the seventh.
Yeah. I saw a whole section that was not filled when they won the pennant.
There you go. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I just hate everything about them. I do love one aspect about them: the fact that they shell out so much money, and they have the best team on paper every year. Year after year after year, and win absolutely nothing big.
So
I love that.
That kind of goes back to my earlier question.
Bitter? Yeah. My spiteful.
Pretty much.
Bet your sweet ass I am. But I'm going to enjoy when the Yankees pistol whip these guys.
That goes back to my other question. Do you think like the Dodgers ultimately care about? Yeah, they care about winning the World Series, but is it more about the bottom dollar and the fact that they're getting all of this exposure?
No, they're trying to win.
Okay.
Don't you take that away from them, and don't you take that away from me. They're trying to win. They're trying real hard.
And you want them to not succeed, and then you feel better.
They're falling real short.
You know what, Anthony?
They lose to good teams. They lose to average teams. They lose to teams that aren't supposed to be in the playoffs.
How many times have they been in the World Series?
It is glorious. I don't know.
In the last 6 years.
6 years?
2 times. 2020 and the year that they lost to the Astros.
So 3 times.
They lost to
3 times,
the Red Sox.
Oh, the Red Sox. Sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the Red Sox I was thinking of.
They lost to the Red Sox and the
Houston.
Astros. Yeah, both teams, I believe, won at Dodger Stadium.
So CD, I think what I'm trying to say is, if you're not going to win it, then get the hell out.
I disagree with that.
Like, stop doing what you're doing.
I disagree.
You know?
I think it's hilarious that you are saying all those things and you're literally rooting for the American League version of the Dodgers.
It's actually crazy.
It's crazy. In fact, you know what it is I'll put it in Star Wars terms. The Yankees are the evil empire, and the Dodgers are now the first order. It's basically the same thing, just separated by X amount of years.
And he's rooting for the older version.
And now you're rooting for the older version. You're acting like the Yankees are like the Jedi or something.
No, I'm rooting for the original. You know, I'm rooting for the original. I'm not rooting for the copycat.
Okay.
You know, I've already seen this. The Yankees do it way better than you.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Uniforms, a million times better. You got that nice pinstripe. I know you like that, Marsh. Nice pinstripe.
Pinstripes.
No name on the back. Yankee Stadium.
I do.
Historic grounds. At least previously.
I do like the teams that are so good that they don't need the names on the back.
Right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That does do
We're not talking about alternative uniforms for the Yankees.
When you can go out and you say, you know who the hell I am. Mm-hmm. That's basically what they're saying. Like,
I guess the Dodgers don't have alternative uniforms either.
Yeah, they do. They have 2 alternate uniforms.
What do they have?
They have 2 City Connect uniforms.
Well, the City Connect, I'm not. Like, all the teams have that. So
the Yankees don't.
I love it. See? I love it. Did they decline the City Connect thing?
Because they're a historic franchise.
Because we're the Yankees. That's what they're saying. They're like, we've already had the connection to the city.
We don't need another jersey.
I love it. All right. Go Yankees.
Oh, gosh.
You'll never. I can't believe you said that on a St. Louis radio station.
They're playing the Dodgers.
Just say, I want to watch good baseball.
Just say beat L.A.
No, because that wouldn't be truthful. I hate the Dodgers so much that I'm rooting for the Yankees.
You can say beat L.A. You don't have to say go Yankees.
Okay, fine. Beat L.A. New York Yankees. Is that better? I added a comma.
Sure.
We good?
That makes you feel better.
Who are you rooting for?
I told you who I'm rooting for.
Dodger boy? You're the Dodger boy. What about you?
I don't care. I just want to watch good baseball.
Don't be that guy.
I'm rooting for a Game 7. That's what I...
Don't. That's even worse.
What do you mean that's worse?
You just doubled down
You're
on
right. You know what? I want to sweep. I hope every game's 8-0 and we can get this over with.
Hey.
You know what? So Carey doesn't have to do the 1.5 base hits, home runs, whatever
I need
anymore.
7
Who are you rooting
games.
for?
Who am I rooting for?
Or who are you rooting against? It's basically what I'm doing. I'm rooting against the Dodgers.
It's tough. It's tough.
All right, Marsh, forget it. Forget it. Freedom Friday continues. Next on 101 ESPN.
I'll pick the Yankees.
They were eliminated.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues pick up a big victory last night in Toronto, a 5-1 win over the Maple Leafs. Dylan Holloway, 2 goals. Philip Broberg scored a goal last night. We talked about those guys earlier in the show. If you missed anything from today's show on a Freedom Friday, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our full interviews and shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We were just talking about the World Series. We had the Dodgers and the Yankees. Anthony does not like the Dodgers. Carey does. Weigh in. Who do you want to win the World Series? Let us know. It's a Freedom Friday. And we'll have Game 1 for you tonight right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Freedom Friday continues right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Freedom Friday here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh has got our next Freedom Friday topic.
From the 314, can we talk college football? If you haven't already, CD, let's talk ILL.
INI. The Fighting Illini.
Fire up, Illini.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Go Illini. Just go Illini.
Carey, you've been with me this entire time.
I won't stop.
Is it the Dodgers-Yankees conversation?
I won't stop you. You do your thing.
Thank you.
All right. Fire up Chips.
Fire up Illini.
Them too. All right. So, Illini heading to number 1 Oregon to take on the top team in the country. And some say, they don't have a chance. They are
21
plus 21. 21 and a half. Did it go up one?
Yeah,
half. Half. Okay. They know something. Or they think they do until the Illini beat them outright. And then they're in the top 10 in the country. Mm-hmm. That's what I say.
I mean, let's be honest. The way that college football has progressed this season in terms of how teams look every single week, it would not shock me if Illinois beat Oregon.
Yeah,
wouldn't shock me.
It would surprise you. It wouldn't be a total shock.
It wouldn't be a total shock.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, I say that because I watched Oregon play their first 2 games of the year. I watched them play against Idaho, who was in that game the entire game. Again,
what'd you call us?
Idaho.
Jeez, Carey.
No, it's a school in the state.
In the state.
Yeah. But anyways, Idaho was in the game the entire game, had an opportunity. The following week, Boise State went to Oregon, both of these games in Eugene, Oregon, and both teams had an opportunity to win that game. Now, granted, that's the first and second week of the season. We're further along right now, but this team, in my opinion, is not invincible. Mm-hmm. They have some places where they can be taken care of, where they can be beat. And that place, I think, is getting after Dylan Gabriel. If you are able to make him uncomfortable in the pocket, let's see if he can make those off-time throws, off-target throws, those throws that are not in rhythm. Let's see if he can move around a little bit. And if he is, let's get him on the ground. Don't give him an opportunity to scramble and run. So that would be I think Illinois is going to play. They major in playing man-to-man. I'm interested to see how much man-to-man they play on Saturday. They got out there a day early. They went yesterday, so they are going to be acclimated to the time, to the weather conditions. It's just going to be a good game, in my opinion. As long as they do what they do. Luke Altmaier, the quarterback, has only turned the ball over, has only thrown 1 interception. He's fumbled a couple of times, but only thrown 1 interception this year. Taking very good care of the football. That's been the motto for this team this season. Don't turn the ball over. Don't beat yourself. That Penn State game, there was a point where I think they beat themselves. They got down to the goal line to inside the 5 and came out of it with no points right before halftime. So this is a team that can hang with some teams, and it being on the road. I don't think, to me, this team is built to play in this environment because they've done it already. They've gone to Nebraska, won there. They've gone to Penn State, took a tough loss there, but they were in that game, and now they're going on the road again to the number 1 team in the country in Oregon. I'm excited, man. I've probably never – I don't know the last time – last time I was probably this excited for an Illini game.
CMU week 6?
Yeah, no, I'm way long time ago. Probably Sugar Bowl 2001, maybe Rose Bowl 2007.
Juice Williams?
Yeah, Juice and them guys. But since then, man, it's been few and far between for me. So I'm excited about this opportunity for those young men, and you know, to come out with a win, man. I'm gonna be insufferable on Monday. You all are gonna ask me to take the damn day off. Carey, a lot of come out with a win on Saturday. You just tell me go home because it's gonna be bad.
I'm gonna read some of these text messages off
what
to
they
you.
say.
No,
Go ahead.
Here we go. From the 417, Illinois has beaten no one. That is good. Their best win is who? Nebraska. Illinois is going to get smacked tomorrow, and it'll be over after the first half.
Let me find out where the 417 area code is. It sounds like Nebraska itself. I don't know. Sounds like a hater.
Oregon, from the 314, Oregon is going to walk all over Illinois. What are you talking about? Same with Alabama and Missouri. Alabama is going to make Missouri go home crying.
Yeah, you sound like a Mizzou fan.
I don't think so.
No, I
think so.
I think it sounds like a fan that isn't a fan of either one of those schools.
Yeah, sounds like a...
sounds like they need to figure some things out.
Sounds like an Ohio State fan.
Well, what do they know? ILL is what I know. All right?
Where's the 417?
Joplin, Missouri.
Okay.
Southwest.
From the 309, going back to our last conversation, isn't it okay if Stalter roots for the Yankees?
Thank you.
I thought one of his homes was New York.
Thank you. It is.
His other home is San Jose, so it's not too far from L.A., right?
Yeah, Anthony, how'd your Sharks do last night against the Kings?
How did they do?
3-2 losers.
That sucks. Sorry for you.
You know what, guys? You can throw all sorts of hate at me. That's fine. I got big, broad shoulders. Okay, so I'll take your projections.
You play wheel linebacker. We talked about it earlier.
Thank you.
Yeah, for the Falcons.
Yeah,
tryouts coming soon.
Just not this weekend. Got 2 big games, hopefully.
Oh, for the Falcons.
For the first grade Falcons.
Yeah.
Got to win the first one though. Okay, one game at a time.
Hey, you know what's
playoffs.
Disappointing? Today's Freedom Friday. I haven't heard one thing from the 618.
And I told the 618 yesterday.
Damn text message today
we should
from the
have
618.
a message from you because it is your day. We talk. You complain about us talking NFL talk. I'm out of here. The Blues don't know how to win. I'm out of here. The Cardinals stink. I'm out of here. You tell us what you would want to talk about, and you're not even here to enjoy the moment with us. What you got, Marshall?
Kind of on brand.
I love our listeners. From the 314, Sharks aren't my team, ... knows the score from last night's game immediately.
I don't know a lot of things, but I remember scores.
Hey, you got to look out for your teams, man.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Like the Jets won in overtime last night.
The New York Jets?
4-3.
Do you know who scored the goal?
Kyle Connor.
CeCe.
No, I don't think so.
CeCe? No, I don't. I don't know.
No, I don't either. I was just wondering.
Blues won 5-2 over the Maple Leafs.
That was 5-1. It was 5-1? 5-2.
Oh, that was 5-2.
I don't know.
5-1.
5-1.
I don't know the scores of the game.
Nikolai Ehlers keeps the Jets perfect.
You ever have we were talking about this earlier when somebody says something and they're so convicted that you think you're wrong.
Yeah.
Like, hey, maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong on that.
I knew it coming in, but man, he seems very
so confident.
Let me tell you something. That's the key to life. Do it with conviction. Be wrong as you can be, but
act
be
like
convicted.
you belong.
That's like when we got the text message that Billy Bean passed away.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, oh man, Billy
We
Bean.
gotta talk about this. Huh. No, I wasn't. I remember getting that
you
I
weren't
saw
here.
that ESPN notification though. And I even looked at my wife, Chris, and I said, wow, Billy Bean died. So I too did not realize it was a different Billy Bean with a different spelling. All right, we got a Sports Six Pack next. It's basically Freedom Friday in a Sports Six Pack segment. That's next on 101 ESPN.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
All right, time for our first question for the Sports Six-Pack. You're on a Freedom Friday in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. Marsh, go.
Question number 1.
I like this first question. I was literally having this discussion last night, but from the 217, can you guys think of a better trade that worked out for both teams better than Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford?
Oh, that's a really good question. By the way, Matthew Stafford's a hell of a quarterback.
He really is.
I don't think he gets his due.
No.
Like if he started his career with a stable organization, like if he started his career in Pittsburgh, we're probably talking about Matthew Stafford being Hall of Famer.
Is he not?
I'm talking about if he. I don't think we view Matthew Stafford because he started with the Lions in the same way that we do. I don't know, Josh Allen or Joe Burrow. Like Matthew Stafford has a Super Bowl. He put up some really big numbers in a bad organization. But I feel like the before he won the Super Bowl, the narrative around Matthew Stafford is like, yeah, he's okay, he's fine, he's a stud.
He's really good at what he does.
All right, the trade.
I would say you never see one for one, like in that regard, like one quarterback for another quarterback, where it works out that well.
Yeah.
Like I can't even think of any off the top of my head where it was one quarterback traded for another quarterback, both starters, both having success in their own places. It's frustrating to me because Jared Goff doesn't get the amount of love that he deserves either. He took a team to the Super Bowl, right? And people will say, "Oh, they lost. They lost to the Patriots." Okay, they lost to a better team. He was also, if I'm not mistaken, that same year they had the back and forth game with him in Kansas City with he and Patrick Mahomes. It was like whoever had the ball last.
Yeah, it was supposed to be in Mexico City, and they had to move it.
Was that the ketchup and mustard game?
Well, the ketchup and mustard game was here.
Oh no,
it was the Bucks and Rams.
They had the red on. Okay, that was.
It might have been another version, but the game was supposed to be in Mexico City, but they moved it. They moved it to L.A.
Yeah.
But I remember that game. That was
an outstanding
Monday Night Football game.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I don't know. Like I don't think this is on the same level because it didn't gain the same notoriety. But like Aroldis Chapman for Cole Ragans, Chapman goes and wins helps the Rangers win a World Series, and Ragans becomes the ace for the Royals. Like that's a pretty good deal.
But when you have
or even Chapman for Gleyber Torres,
superstars traded for one another.
Yeah, no, it's not on the same level.
And I wouldn't say they're both superstars, but they were both needed for their respective organizations, for their respective teams. Like I don't know. I can't think of another.
It's a really good question. I'll say no. I don't think there has been a better 1-for-1 or a better deal where both teams feel great about it.
Like super great. I think the most recent could be the Soto Michael King trade.
That's a good one.
Now, Padres aren't in the World Series,
but they do have Michael King.
I don't know if that's the same.
What about the
Soto's different.
Who was it? Was it the Cardinals? Who did they trade for Peter Borges? That was a fantastic trade.
That was... well, Grichuk was part of that.
Was it Grichuk?
It was Peter Borges and Grichuk for... Was it Freese? I think it was Freese. I think it was David Freese for Peter Borges and...
I thought Grichuk was a Cardinal. Oh, no.
Grichuk was part... Yeah, he was part of the...
It was
part of that deal.
Draft class as Mike Trout, no?
Yes, he was.
Because they had picks like pretty close next to each other. I think Grichuk went before Trout. I could be wrong on that.
Well, let's look it up, shall we?
I usually am.
No. Go ahead. Fire up the next question. I'll look this up.
Next question.
Fire up chips.
Thank you.
Question number 2.
I had one real quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers draft day trade.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good one.
There was.
From the 314, first World Series I remember watching was New York, LA in 78, I think. Reggie Jackson hit a ton of taters. Got the nickname Mr. October for his performance. I want LA. Never been a big fan of big city teams, but New York has more championships than St. Louis. Question is, what is the first World Series you remember watching?
By the way, it was Grichuk at 24 to the Angels. Mike Trout, 25 to the Angels.
Oh, okay.
So you nailed that. And Grichuk, if I can confirm this, Grichuk and Peter Borges for David Freese and for Fernando Salas. That was the deal. Okay, first
Very
World
impactful
Series.
trade.
First World Series I remember watching was the 89 Earthquake Series between the Giants and the A's.
I remember that
That
one.
is when I fell in love with, not exactly that World Series, but that postseason. That was when I fell in love with Will Clark, because he took the Chicago Cubs behind the woodshed in the NLCS. He was incredible. He was the best baseball player. Like, I was young kid, and I'm like, who's this guy? Lefty swing,
Yeah.
unreal. I wanted to play first base, and I wanted to bat left-handed, which is problematic because I was a righty.
You could.
It didn't work.
Okay.
I tried, didn't work.
It didn't work out for you.
No.
You
But
should
I-
have been a first baseman. Then you wouldn't have had to throw the ball at all.
Okay, Marsh, that's just hurtful. That's just,
I mean, you would have a little bit. You know,
it's just hurtful. But that was the first World Series because, the Earthquake Series happens. It's
Yeah.
the A's and the Giants. And I remember even walking into our family room and I said, there's something going on with the World Series.
I remember that too.
Something
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
My parents are like, what the hell is this kid talking about? But yeah, it was the Earthquake.
It would probably be the 87 Cardinals. Like, that's probably my first. Maybe 85. I was 4.
I don't
Not
think-
really.
Like, obviously, I watched previous
Yeah.
World Series before 89, but that's the one I really remember.
Yeah.
You don't want to know.
I remember
mine.
the 89 one though. I remember because I was an A's fan as well. Like, I had a lot of people that looked like me, Anthony. So they were, them and the Cardinals were my favorite teams, man.
Like Dave Stewart,
Yeah, Ricky
Henderson.
A few guys, Yeah.
That team was loaded.
Yeah.
What was yours? Like the 2010? Like the
2010?
Like the 2011 Cardinals?
No.
Go ahead. We know you're young, Marsh. Tell us.
2002. Angels.
The Rally Monkey.
Angels and Giants.
Oh, that was a good one. When
that sucked.
When that Dusty Baker son almost got ran over.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
Was it Jeff Kent that grabbed him?
JT Snow grabbed him.
Okay.
Yep, JT Snow. And I remember Darren Baker patting JT Snow on the back. Like, hey, buddy. No idea what just happened.
Just out here, man.
Yep.
So Darren Baker's in Major League Baseball now. He's with the Washington Nationals.
Really?
And to put it all together, he is my current second baseman in MLB The Show.
It all comes back to MLB The Show. It all comes back to MLB The Show. All right. Do you want to stick with a six-pack? You just want to continue to roll with the Freedom Friday topics, Marsh?
Isn't it one and the same?
Yeah, let's just do Freedom Friday. So, you keep sending in your Freedom Friday topics or questions, 314-399-9646. Again, Freedom Friday. Final hour of Freedom Friday next on 101 ESPN. 5:05, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. What's up, CD?
No, nothing. I'm laughing.
Just because it's a Freedom Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, people always say, you don't know ball.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Why are people so angry?
You need a little love in your life.
I think that's what it is. I don't think they were loved enough. And they're not loved enough.
Well, I didn't say that.
We love you.
We'd love you. And hopefully your family loves you as well. I'm sure they do.
They
You're a great human being in your community, your home, your job, you know. Just
lift people up.
That's the ultimate goal. Be the person that puts a smile on somebody's face today.
That's right.
And then somebody will do it for you, and then you're not worried about, well, when am I going to get my smile from this? No, just do it for somebody else.
That's right.
And then eventually somebody got you. You know?
It may take a year or so, but somebody
at some point
will come in, give you a little smile. Yeah. Okay.
Life lessons.
Still hate the Dodgers. Let's go, Marsh. What do you got?
I like this one from the 239. A little bit longer, but bear with me. Some have made it seem like every Cardinals veteran is as good as gone, but we were saddled with Brandon Crawford for almost a full season because of how important veteran leadership is to a winning club. Do you guys think veteran leadership is more important for a winning club or for a club that is going to be losing a lot? I think the young guys will need veterans to teach them how to come back and give 100% after losing night after night than veterans who will teach them how to win. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's always been my philosophy that you have to have both. You have to have a balance of young foundational players that are developing together, as well as veteran players that are around to help out, whether you're winning or losing. You know, when I'll make a quick joke, but when the Astros brought in Carlos Beltran, he really implemented the system that helped them bang the trash cans and win the World Series. He also is a really good player.
It's a change-up.
He's also a really good player. And I do think beyond helping him develop the exactly.
Do you think if he has that trash can that he gets a base hit in the 2006 NLCS?
Probably. Yeah, I think so. But Carlos Beltran's a veteran player.
What?
And a lot of those guys, the young players, whether it's Correa or Bregman or Altuve, they credited, George Springer, they credited Carlos Beltran for coming in and providing him with that veteran leadership. I think you have to have that balance. I don't think you can be a purely veteran team. I don't think you can be purely young developmental players. I think you need that balance, and it doesn't matter what sport it is.
Yeah, I think the best teams have both. Right, I think you have guys that have been through it, then you got guys that have no clue as to what in the world is going on. Like you got a rookie that, this is cool. We're going to be in the World Series every year. Hold on, young man. This might be the only time you ever sniff the playoffs. Right. You better win it. So I think it's valuable having both. Right, having that guy that has been around the block, that has done it for so many years, and this might be his first opportunity or his fourth opportunity, whatever the case may be. And then you have that young guy that is just happy to be there. But having those two working on the same team, working for the same goal, it definitely helps. So I don't know if it. You need to have veteran players to help guide you. Now, if you're leaning on said veteran players and those players are older and not producing, that's probably not good. But to have veteran leadership, a guy that can talk to some of the younger guys, a guy that can kind of be that steady hand, that guy that just they lean on and speak to whenever there's issues that arise throughout the season, I think that's good.
Here's a real question from the 636. Coming down with a cold, outside of the typical over-the-counter meds and rest, what do you guys do to get over your cold quickly? I know, Anthony, you're a baby when it comes to being sick.
Yeah,
he ran out of here one day.
I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, you almost did that weekend.
I've never left the show.
And when I looked at you, I was like, what is wrong with you? He was quiet for an entire segment.
I was trying not to throw up.
I was like, are you okay? He's like, nope. I think I got to go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I hung in there. It was a blues segment. I'm like, cool, Jamie can cover this. We're good. And then, I got out. The only time I left the show. Actually, that's not true. Second time I left the show. Killian, we found out he had a tree nut allergy. Not good. Yeah. He had a cashew and severe allergic reaction as a 2-year-old.
That's not great.
Yeah, rushed him to the hospital. My sister-in-law called me, and she has never called me in a show. And I'm like, uh-oh, this isn't good. And it turns out, yeah. Anyways, I am a baby with it. I you know that airborne? I'll hammer the fast lane out of the airborne when I'm sick.
What's that?
It's it's like the tablets. Emergency. Those tablets. Yeah. Little zinc, little echinacea, little, I don't know, whatever they put in there.
I do the emergency packets. I'll do one of those in the morning, one of those in the evening. Boom. My mother used to give me hot toddies when I was younger.
Nice.
Whitey tighties?
Hot toddy.
Oh.
Yeah. A little tea, honey, lemon, a little whiskey, bourbon.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Some cayenne pepper?
Knock it right on out.
Yes.
Put you right to sleep.
Yep.
You know? Yeah. Do that for adults. Try that out.
Yeah, I'm not beyond that.
I usually just, I think I've told you this before, I usually just eat Tums and drink Sprite.
Eat them?
Yeah. You can eat Tums.
That doesn't sound like, when you said it like that, like you sound like you're just.
How else do you eat Tums?
Well, no. For me, it
Well, you
would
don't
sound
just
like
eat
take Tums.
Yeah.
But when you say eat Tums, it's almost like you're eating lifesavers.
Like you're eating Sour Patch Kids.
I only eat the green Tums.
I think what Carey's saying is, we're picturing, you're being literal. We're picturing you like eating them like M&Ms.
They are pretty tasty if you get the right. I'm not kidding. They are.
How many do you eat?
2.
Okay.
You can only have 6 within 24 hours.
Okay. When you say you're eating them, to me it sounds like you got a handful of
them. They're like high-C chews.
No, we get how you eat them.
What you're saying, but it sounds to me like you got a handful of Tums
and you're just powering them.
Just eating them.
As long as I could, as long as you don't eat 6, more than 6 in 24 hours, you're good.
I got you, CD. I had the same picture. I had the same picture of Marsh
confused.
Just hammering these Tums.
Like as many as I can.
And Sprite.
Just watching it down. That's what I saw.
And yellow Gatorade. Yellow Gatorade is really good.
I hate yellow Gatorade.
What? You do?
I do.
Oh,
I'm an orange Gatorade guy.
Orange is great too.
No, they're all great. It's just yellow when
you're sick.
When you're sick is the best.
I think that's a different sick you're referring to. That's after a night.
Yeah.
No, that is Blue Powerade from McDonald's.
It's got to be from McDonald's?
Yes. For whatever reason, it's way better than what it would be in the blue bottle.
Wow, interesting.
It's got to be from McDonald's.
My favorite Gatorade would be the Gatorade Zero, the clear.
The clear
Glacier cherry or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You like the Zero?
Yeah. Zero sugar.
Man.
All those electrolytes. Save on the sugar.
I drink Pedialyte when I need electrolytes.
That's good too, yeah.
Pedialyte's good. I had one day, I had taken something, and my whole body was about to lock up. What is it? What is the supplement that you used to take? Creatine. I had never taken it before. I'm gonna try some creatine. This was like a couple months ago.
And never taken creatine before?
Makes your muscles
bigger. You gotta drink a lot of water.
I know now. Didn't know then.
Oh yeah, you got to drink
you
need to drink that entire wherever you're. There it is. Yeah, your what do we call that?
Propane tank.
The propane tank of water.
Oh,
that's
bad.
probably the amount that you need to have per day.
Yeah, I imagine you locked up dehydrated.
It was bad.
Yeah.
I went straight to the. What's going on with my body? Oh no, I don't feel. Oh goodness. I went to get the Pedialyte and just was hammering them.
You're probably good after that.
I was better.
Yeah.
I thought I didn't think I was going to make it.
Liquid IV is really good too.
Yes.
Liquid IV.
Liquid IV.
I don't know if I've had that.
You should.
Yeah, right.
It's pretty good.
All right, we're covering a lot of ground here on a Freedom Friday.
By the way, we were talking earlier about just being nice, right?
Yeah.
You want to uplift people and bring a smile to their face. We got a text from the 314. Great point, fellas. However, I am so tired of being the nice guy. I hold doors open for people. No, thank you. I say hi to others. No reply. I stopped trying. Now I just stick to myself. No eye contact, no verbal communication.
But you know what? That's hurting your soul. All right? Now, I, too, get very frustrated when I hold the door open and there's no thank you. Those people, and I hate to be extreme here, you deserve a beating. Also, when you say hello and the person looks at you and doesn't say anything, those two, they fall in the same category. But you still got to do it, man. Still got to do it. Because that's deep in your soul. That's who you are. So you be you. And if these pieces of you know what don't want to say hi, then I'll stop there.
Are you if I don't get a hi or if I don't get a thank you, you're welcome.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah,
usually.
Yep.
Like
Whoa, what was that? No,
you're welcome.
Yeah, you heard me.
You're supposed to say thank you. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I should stop doing that, but it just drives me crazy.
Same.
Do you guys hate small talk?
Depends on the day. Sometimes I'm all about it. Sometimes I'm like, don't talk to me.
Do you get tired of talking sports around with other people? Like when you leave work because they talk to you about sports?
No, I don't. If it's a conversation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If it's them telling me what they do with the Cardinals bullpen for 30 minutes, then no. You know?
I used to hate
but if
Super
it's conversation,
Bowl.
cool.
Yeah. I used to hate Super Bowl parties. Because I didn't...
You wanted to watch the game and...
Yeah.
Because you weren't playing in it.
Well, that too. But I didn't want to sit there and... Well, what were they thinking? Hell, I don't know what they were thinking. I wouldn't have done it either. I don't know why he did that.
I've been there where it's like, well, why'd they do that? And you explain why they did it. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like,
okay,
I got nothing for you. It's the play.
So here we go. Last night, we'll use Thursday Night Football, for example. The Rams, they go up 27-20. Mm-hmm. Do you go for 2 points there to make it a 29-20 game?
No.
Or do you kick the field goal
I kick the
and
extra
make
point.
the other team try and get the 2-point conversion?
Yeah.
I had a friend telling me that they should have went for 2.
Yeah.
I'm like, fella.
I don't think you could be a friend anymore.
Yeah, that's not sound reasoning because now all they need is an extra point to tie the game if you don't get the 2.
The reasoning made no sense.
Or you're telegraphing what they need. It's a 2-possession game, which essentially is what your friend is trying to say. But 2 possession, okay. But now I can beat you.
Exactly.
I can beat you with a touchdown and a field goal, or 2 touchdowns.
Nah, you
get the point.
Make it an 8-point game.
Yep.
Make them have to go for 2. See what happens.
Yeah. Good luck getting the TD. And if you get the TD, good luck getting the 2-point conversion.
Or you just can sack them in the end zone and get a safety and make it 10 points.
Well, they didn't sack
rip his
him.
face
They did
mask
sack
off.
him. It was a sack. Safety.
They touched the face mask and ripped his head off.
Yeah.
Didn't see a flag thrown.
Apparently, they didn't either.
There you go.
And they're watching, right
The funny thing is, the defensive lineman put his hands on his head like, oh, no.
Well, he tweeted out, I brought this up in break. He tweeted out that he put his hands over his head. He's trying to block out the noise.
He's a liar.
yeah.
That's
Trying to block out the noise.
He flat out
no
lied.
reason to block the noise in that situation.
Dude,
Yeah.
you're
By
at
the
home.
way, I did see, and again, could be wrong here, the same referee group that did the game last night, I believe also did the Falcons-Chiefs game where they didn't throw a PI in the end zone.
On the Kyle Pitts.
Sounds like these guys are pretty good at their jobs.
Well, they won't be in playoff time then.
It depends. Unless it's the Chiefs.
Could have been a joke, though.
Could have been a joke.
You never know what to believe these days.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't believe everything on the internet?
Oh, no, definitely believe everything on the internet.
I don't believe
Or else why would it
everything on the
exist?
internet. I
Why
believe
not?
everything on the text line.
Yeah, darn right you do.
Really?
Speaking of the text line, 314-399-9646. Keep sending in those Freedom Friday topics. We'll continue it next on 101 ESPN. continue Freedom Friday here in the Fast Lane on 101 to ESPN. Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, here's Andrew Marsh.
All right, let's get back to the Blues from the 636. Do you think Justin Faulk is on his way towards a renaissance season? So far, he has looked like the player he was for the first 2 years of his contract.
I hear Jamie talk about, you okay?
Good.
You good?
Yeah.
I hear Jamie talk about, who you're paired with often and how that can make you a better player or look better or, the styles, how they fit with you, with the guy that you're playing with. So I would assume that that's part of why he's playing so well. If you're able to be partnered with a guy like Broberg and what he's doing, maybe it takes some pressure off of you and you're able to play the game at a higher level. I would love to know in depth exactly how that partnership elevates your game. Like, what exactly does it do? I mean, Marsha, you could probably speak to that a little bit. How does having a better partner or having a guy that complements your skill set make you better on the ice in that department on the defensive side?
I think it comes down to having like a level of trust in your partner and knowing where that person is going to be at different times while you're on the ice. And, if you're with somebody who isn't as skilled or isn't as smart, doesn't have that hockey IQ, sometimes you have to play a little. You just have to play a little bit different. You got to play a little bit more cautious. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just because you're not. And with Justin Faulk, he's like an offensive defenseman. Like he'll make things happen with the puck. Likes to shoot the puck. There's a reason why. They put him on the power play. But when you have a guy that you can trust, that is going to allow you to be the best version of yourself. And vice versa, the way that you play, that person then can be the best version of themselves. It's with any kind of sport, right? Like if you don't have that connection with somebody, then you're not going to have success.
Like a quarterback throwing to a receiver, knowing where he's going to go, like Patrick and Travis.
Yes,
how they know kind of just where the other is going to be and put the ball where it needs to be.
Well, and you could have the best wide receiver in the league. But if you have, a third-string quarterback throwing him the ball, you're not going to have success. Like, look what's happening in Miami right now. Like, Tyreek Hill is one of the top wide receivers in the league. Yeah. The guy's been a ghost.
Well, this is why you shouldn't build. And I'm not just saying this for Miami. This is why you shouldn't build your team around wide receivers. We become infatuated with the wide receivers, but the quarterback. If the quarterback is average or the offensive line stinks in front of him, it's not going to matter. But going back to Justin Faulk, I thought Faulk had a rough year last year because he was banged up. Mm-hmm. But if you go back 2 years ago, I thought he had an outstanding season. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he looks good. And a lot of times it just really does come down to whether or not a guy is healthy. Who was it, Bouwmeester? Bouwmeester had, people were ready to give up on him because he was playing poorly, but it was purely because he had, I think it was a back injury that was just... It limited him, and then once he got over that, he was back to being Jay Bouwmeester. I
do think though, if you are the guy, it really shouldn't matter who you play with. Mm-hmm. It does. It does to a degree, but come on.
Yeah.
We always talk about Colton Parega. Well, we've been trying to find a partner for him, and it's you just got to do what you got to do. Mm-hmm. You got to be the player that you got to be.
Yeah.
And he was excellent last year. They found that with Nick Leddy. Now this year's been a little bit different, right? Nick Leddy's injured, but now we're trying to work things out with Ryan Suter, who I think has also been playing very good. And what a pickup for Doug Armstrong. He's been super sound.
He has annihilated the offseason.
He has.
Philip Broberg, Dylan Holloway, the
Joseph brothers.
The Joseph brothers.
Did you see that back check last
smokes.
night? We talk about getting excited.
Yeah.
Last night, Matthew Joseph, and again, this is not going to show up on the score sheet or anything like that. Maple Leafs have a great opportunity in the offensive zone, and Matthew Joseph is flying 20 plus miles per hour, back checking, lifts the stick, boom, going the other way. Mm-hmm. That's just something that the Blues didn't have. in the past few years. Like, you didn't see that.
Yeah.
And now you have that. And that guy, like, he's new, but he is leading the way in terms of, like, effort. And I think that goes a long way, especially for a team that's in a retool.
Yep. All right, we'll take a quick break here. And when we come back, it's our last Freedom Friday segment. So if you've got a Freedom Friday topic that you've been holding on to, hey, man, send it in. We'll conclude our Freedom Friday next on 101 ESPN. Hey, when you look at AutoCentersNissan.com, you're going to find the perfect vehicle for you because they have over 700 new and used vehicles all in one location. So you can check them out online. And then when you head down Herculaneum, you'll see for yourself why they are the largest and best used selection in St. Louis. It's Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. They get their Fall into Savings event. It was extended from September throughout October. You got a couple of days left to take advantage of some low finance rates that are available right now, such as 0% APR on Pathfinder, Rogue, and Altima, plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on Frontier. They also have low lease payment options like $329 per month on 2024 Rogues, too. If you're looking for a safe, reliable vehicle that's also priced right, check out the 2024 Nissan Kicks, Sentras, and Versas, all priced below $23,000 right now, as well as the 2024 Rogue and Altima starting below $30,000. And you can look for massive dealer discounts, upwards of $10,000 off MSRP on select models. New Nissans and select used come with their complimentary lifetime warranty. New Nissans come with a 30-day return promise and complimentary Nissan maintenance plan. It's all available out in Herculaneum. Check them out online as well, AutoCentersNissan.com. And when you head out to Herculaneum, tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues pick up a victory last night in Toronto, 5-1 over the Maple Leafs. Dylan Holloway with a pair of goals. Philip Broberg scored. If you missed any of our conversations regarding your St. Louis Blues, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Tonight, we have Game 1 of the World Series. It is the Los Angeles Dodgers going up against the New York Yankees. Coverage will start at 6 with the pregame show. Who are you going with? Text us in to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We know Anthony is rooting for the Yankees. Carey is going with the Dodgers. I'm still undecided, but maybe we'll talk about that next as Freedom Friday continues right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
All right, our last Freedom Friday topic of the day. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. No Jamie Rivers. He's traveling today for the Blues. Andrew Marsh, take it away.
From the 314, how much do you think managers will play into this World Series? And if so, which one do you trust more?
Aaron Bleeping Boone.
I don't know about that.
Oh, you like the Dodgers manager, do you?
Dave Roberts is fine. He's fine.
Anthony,
He's fine.
I don't like how you said that.
I don't think the managers factor in. I think the star power wins out.
Because they got good players?
They got good players, and I don't think either one of these guys is, like, masterful. Neither of these guys is Tony La Russa. Neither of these guys is Bruce Bochy, where you're going to have an actual advantage when you go into games.
I'm going to go with the guy that's been there before, Dave Roberts.
Okay.
Yep. Done it. Been there. Knows what it's like. Knows what it's like.
You said that.
I don't feel like I said it right.
You go. Knows what it's like. Wait, knows what it's like.
It felt wrong.
You nailed it, man. Both times.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think there's a distinct advantage one way or another. Yankee fans at certain times have absolutely hated Aaron Boone, and Dodger fans have also hated Dave Roberts.
Well,
same thing, like same complaints, bullpen usage, bad lineups, whatever.
You only can play the guys you got. I think if it comes down to, I think it does matter. I do believe that matters. For the players, it's baseball. There are things like when you're in a championship moment, championship game, championship series, like having experience does help. Like having guys that have been there before, it helps. Having coaches and managers that have been there before, it does help. There's a moment where you could tense up or tighten up or, you know, as opposed to, well, we've been here before. We've experienced this. This is a level of pressure that the Yankees may not have. They haven't experienced yet. So the team that's been there before usually plays with a little bit more, you know, comfort, a little bit more ease. I can say that just because the team that I won the Super Bowl with, that team had just gone to the Super Bowl 3 years prior. For the most part, probably 25, 30 guys on that roster had been through that. And so going through it again, it was like, it didn't stop me from being scared as hell on the opening kickoff when all those lights started flashing. I'm like, oh, God, oh, no. Catch the ball. No, oh, goodness.
You don't really see that anymore in the Super Bowl.
No?
I mean, not really.
Yeah, nobody, the phones, the cameras.
Yeah, the cameras are different.
I don't know if they make it, they might do it with the lights in the stadium, though. I don't know. But that was a concern. I was fine.
Were you the upback?
I was a returner.
You were the returner?
Yeah, I was one of the returners, yeah.
Wow.
And
did you get it?
No, it was kicked to Gary Russell.
Okay.
But that's all I could, like, I was fine.
Yeah.
Until the ball got teed up and I started thinking about, oh, my God, all these lights are going to be flashing. Because you start, like, you just think you don't want anything disrupting you from seeing the ball. And all I could think was, that light is different from these lights. It's going to interfere with my sight.
When did I'm sure it went away. Like, when did the nervousness go away?
Oh, right after the ball was. I mean, after it's kicked, you kind of snap out of it and get into it. And once you hit somebody, like football, you can be as nervous as you want to be, but once you actually hit somebody, the nerves kind of go away. Like you're in the game now. Now it's time. I haven't got time to be worried about what the moment could mean. That's how football is. Baseball, I'm sure if you get a hit, you know, you get on base, you're able to run a little bit. You make a big play in the field, like you move around a little bit, and then you realize, it's just baseball.
Yeah,
like, I think it's that way for every sport. There's one thing that kind of takes those butterflies, those nerves away, but you do have them. We talked about it last year with the Oilers and the Panthers, how the Oilers didn't have any pressure on them, right? We're down 3-0, hell, whatever. In Game 7, I said, they're going to be tight. They haven't had a chance to win a Stanley Cup until tonight.
Yeah.
And you saw it. They're like, okay. Well, the Panthers were like, well, it's our fourth chance at this thing. Hopefully we get it tonight.
Fourth crack at it.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's gonna be an outstanding World Series. I'm excited about watching these teams play, and I do think the managers will have a say at some point. You know, you're never going to be perfect. At the end of the day, it boils down to the players making the plays when their number is called. You can go to the bullpen, the numbers could match up, righty versus righty, lefty versus lefty, and say, this is the guy we need to put in. But if he gives up a shot to Shohei Ohtani that goes over the damn stadium, guess it was the wrong call or it's the wrong pitch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it will matter.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a great World Series. It's one of those where it's like, it's going to come 6-7 games, come down to 6 or 7 games. Marsh, did you get off the fence? No, he didn't. Wow.
No. I am leaning towards a certain team.
Where? Which way are you leaning? Yeah, you're leaning towards the Yankees. I can see it on you. I can see it on you, and you won't say it out loud. I saw it in his face. I saw his eyes twinkle when I said he
saw the big apple in my eye.
I saw it happening. I don't like it, Marshy.
I don't either. I feel dirty. You know, I just feel gross. I feel gross like the streets of New York. You know?
Oh, wow. Have you ever been to New York?
Don't talk about
I have been to the state. I haven't been to New York City.
Jeez.
New York City?
New York City.
I've never been there. I've been to
New York City?
the great state of New York, though, in northern New York.
Buffalo.
I've been up there, like Niagara Falls. I've been there.
Okay.
I've been to Rochester, New York.
Ah.
I've been to Newark, New Jersey, which a lot of people think is New York.
Yeah. Newark, for the airport?
Yes.
Yep.
I've never been to East Rutherford, which is also apparently a part of New York.
East Rutherford is pretty close.
I've flown over the city of New York on my way to Canada.
Okay.
That doesn't count, but
Still not the city, but
still not the city.
I see what you're doing.
But you know what? I have been to L.A.
And you still chose the
I still
place you've
chose
never
New
been.
York. And I had a great time out in L.A. too. I was in high school and went to like all the different theme parks and
nice,
all the attractions, and
it was a good time.
It was awesome, man. I went to Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Really,
man. I couldn't ever go back to Six Flags here. No offense.
Ruined your experience, huh?
It wasn't the same. It really wasn't.
Marsh that was it.
They had a roller coaster that went backwards, Anthony.
Wow.
I don't like roller coasters.
I mean, they
No?
Wait, what? I know they do here. The Mr. Freeze goes backwards for like a minute.
It flies. It does.
I'm okay. I hate roller coasters.
Really?
Yeah.
Terrifies you.
Yeah, no, see, so every time I get on a roller coaster, I have bigger shoulders, bigger chest. I never feel like this damn thing is completely locked in.
Oh, yeah.
Mine always is a little bit further out than everyone else's. I'm like, hey, excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay, no, you're good. No, I want mine locked in like theirs. No, it's good. No, sir. Let me out of this. No, yes, and I don't want to do it. No, I'm good.
All right, fair. The Batman one is crazy when you're just dangling. Your legs and feet are dangling.
So there was one
flying all over
at this Magic Mountain place. Waiting in line, like I never like waiting in line for like roller coasters. I was just like, I'll just move on. But there's this one particular one. I waited for 2 hours to get on this roller coaster. And we finally got to like the part where we can see the actual coaster. And we're like, what's another 15 minutes? Let's go to the front. Like, let's go to the very front. And so we get up there, and it looks just like the Batman, right? Like you sit in there, and you're dangling. We're like, oh, nice. Like, this guy like the Batman. And then all of a sudden, it just goes, and you start, and then all of a sudden, you went from Batman to Superman, and you're like, chest down, looking at the ground, and you're Supermaning now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're in front. Like, we are in the front now. And we're going, and then all of a sudden you go up this thing, and then it twists, and then next thing you know, you're in the back, and you're going backwards, Supermaning going backwards.
Wow.
And it was like 3 minutes long, too.
Wow, that's a pretty long.
It was awesome. It was definitely worth the wait.
Yeah.
And that's why I can't go to Six Flags anymore.
He's done. By the way, we are now trailing the Rizzuto show by 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Thanks to me, Jamie, and BK being on the Vikings last night. Everybody from the Riz show took the Rams.
Yep.
So there's some strategy behind that. I don't know what they got cooking up down the hallway.
I said it last night. I think it was desperation.
They probably
it might be, but good for them.
They're in unison. They're going to pick the same. They're in solidarity. They're probably going to go all the same picks. If it hits,
you're good.
If not, when you're down 7-0, you got to come up with some type of strategy, right?
Well, like after the game, I texted our group, and I was pretty excited because I thought we had a 2-0 lead.
Yep.
It turned out all of them picked the Rams. Yeah. They must know more football than we do.
They certainly do. They certainly do. No, they don't. All right. We got Bet the Board. We got criticisms and compliments. We have 3 stars of the day next on 101 ESPN. missed anything from today's Freedom Friday show, you can check it out online, 101ESPN.com, or on your 101 ESPN mobile app. It's all brought to you by Star and Auto Centers. Time to bet the board. Marsh, what's the latest standings?
No, we don't have to do that.
Absolutely we do.
Anthony, you're leading with 11.
Yes.
Jamie has 10. Carey has 7. I have 5.
All right, give me the lock of the weekend. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers plus 2.5.
Shame on you. You should be ashamed.
Nah, not one bit.
What did Jamie have? Something money line. Was it Tampa?
No, the Devils.
No.
Get the Devils.
New Jersey?
Yep, I think so. Hang on. Yep, bet the board. Devils on the money line.
Give me. So glad baseball's back. Juan Soto, 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs.
Oh, boy.
Minus 135.
By the way, the Devils are minus 120 if you're interested.
Give me the Dodgers-Yankee game to go over 9. Over 9 runs.
Over 9. Okay. Over 9.
I'm sure it'll be a 2-1 ball game.
Nah.
That's terrible.
Maybe 4.
So frustrating.
Now, did you officially declare Yankees?
He didn't say it out loud.
No, I didn't.
But I saw it in his face.
I cannot bring myself to root for any one of these teams. I just want good baseball.
Root for the
but
Dodgers.
if my life was on the line, I'll root for the Yankees.
Okay, good. Good choice. Great choice, in fact. You should feel proud.
I think the Dodgers...
I hope you're proud of yourself.
I think my hate for the Dodgers outweighs my hate for the Yankees. I think.
So you never want the Cardinals to catch up to the Yankees. I get it. No, I get it. Both you guys. I got you. It's cool.
It.
No, I got it. Yeah, no, don't worry about it.
No,
Yep.
you make a fantastic point.
It's cool.
You made a
don't worry
great
about
point.
it. It's cool.
You know what? You know what? No, that's the Cardinals' problem. They're not putting a good product out on the
There he
field.
is. Thank you.
To do that themselves. You want to do things for yourself, right? You like
Exactly.
doing things for other people. You like making other people happy, but at the end of the day, you need to make yourself happy first.
You got to earn it. You think Carey, who's won a Super Bowl, would know that? You got to earn it, Carey.
You do.
Come on, man.
I agree.
All right. Criticisms and compliments.
Yes, from the 314. Thanks for the laughs this week. Hope everyone has a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
too.
314.
Thanks for listening.
This is funny. From the 314, Marsh, the Saliga thing is the only part of the show that my 11-year-old daughter likes. We do it all the time.
Boy, that's a crap sandwich.
That's hilarious.
You got Lincoln doing it too, by the way. He goes, Saliga.
I mean, I didn't make it up. I didn't come up with it.
That's really funny. It's the only thing we listen to.
The 314 says we should root for Tommy Edman.
I am rooting for Tommy Edman.
And Jack Flaherty.
I am rooting for Tommy Edman. And Luke Weaver.
Luke Weaver.
He plays on the other team.
And almost Cardinal Juan Soto.
That's right.
He was not, fellas. He was almost
Yeah,
never.
He was in. They were
Just-
talking about him. And we didn't believe it. hard
Dylan
enough.
Carlson.
They
One
weren't
for
going
one.
that path. Sorry to let you down.
Okay. All right. Marsh is right. You didn't believe enough.
I believe plenty. Hell have they done?
You guys ready for 3 stars?
Yes.
Third star of the day. Big weekend for Fire Up Illini.
Yeah, I
Illinois.
know.
Need a
Let's
big
come
win
on,
out of
come
this
on
week
now.
for
Come
Carey.
on now.
Get this dub.
Let's
Be in
get
top
this
10 in
upset.
the
Get this
country.
dub.
Let's get this
Yeah.
upset, baby.
Get it. On the road.
By the
Number
way,
one.
quick shout out to all those who are diving into the new Call of Duty this weekend,
I need to get into
including Kyler Murray.
that. Yeah.
Who do the Cardinals play? The Dolphins? Give me Miami.
No, these are the things that we need to talk about. Like, that's a serious thing.
Give me Miami, please.
Second star of the day goes out to our starting 5 of the superheroes.
Oh, yeah.
Great starting 5.
Flash. Point guard.
You will never see any of those guys take a night off. I'll tell you that
No.
for free.
Hulk, center?
Yeah.
No load management.
None.
No.
Unless it's too expensive for the budget. Then we can't have
No,
them in
well,
there.
we got Tony Stark as the owner. We'll be all right.
He's coming back now. Do you know that?
What?
He's playing a different character.
I don't like that.
He's playing Dr. Doom.
Nah, I don't like that at all. Not one bit.
You're not the only person.
I refuse. I won't watch
You're
it.
not the only person. First star of the day goes out to our listeners for a great Freedom Friday.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yep. You guys make Freedom Friday what they are.
We love it.
Yep, we appreciate you.
all.
Thank you. Everybody have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Carey, go Illini. Fire up Illini.
Yep.
Marsh, well, your Vikings already played. But you know what? Go Blues. And we got the Blues tomorrow. Blues and Canadians pregame at 5 o'clock. We got World Series Game 1 pregame starting at 6. See ya.